In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of Hobbs and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, and welcome to the show, everybody. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because Amazon Studios sucks.
Pretty much.
We're roughly from the same gen. We think that it's the best because our movies used to be good, and now they suck, and we're gonna complain about it, and we're gonna complain a whole lot about Amazon. This week, because I was supposed to have a nice brand new video to be able to show you sometime this week, and now I've just got fire in my veins, and I'm officially declaring war on Amazon Studios, and they can eat my butt.
Angry flames on the side of your face.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Not bad. I had a great week.
I'm still shilling for Rippaverse comics, mostly because I realized I look really good in black, and the shirt was still downstairs, and I needed something clean.
Color. I still haven't gotten my ISOM 2 comic.
Dude, I've gotten 2 shipments.
I need to look into that.
So I ordered my comic like the day it launched.
Yeah.
And I got my comic real fast. And then they had a promotion where you get a free hat if you buy anything. I was like, I meant to buy a shirt and I forgot, so I'll do that. I got a free hat, which I'm not sporting because I look bad in hats. And Jared's here. He said he was going to show up late, but he's back.
Well, I mean, this is late, technically, right?
It's late.
Yep, 10 minutes is on time for David. So,
Hey.
yeah, I am not in a great mood, but we're still going to be entertaining. We're still going to have a nice show. But I have been fighting a legal battle with Amazon for like a whole month, really. And it's not just my devoid of logic video that's been struck. That it's the only one that has been struck. But they've gone through every single live stream we've done. They've demonetized.
Really?
Yes. They had copyright claims on the last one because I have the video pulled up that we were like just going through the stills, and I pressed play on one scene because it was dumb, and it played for like 10 seconds, and they claimed the whole video.
Well, aren't you commentating on it? So isn't that fair use?
Yeah, it is, Jared. So Amazon's just retarded.
No.
And what's worse is they know that they don't win in court because everything I do is so obviously fair use. I jump through literal flaming hoops to avoid copyright trouble. Okay,
And that's the whole point. They just want you to
exactly. They don't care. They can strike any video they want, knowing that they're not going to win. But because the YouTube system is so screwed up and so bull crap. It doesn't matter because they can submit a claim, and then you have two options. Depending on how severe their claim is, they have like a couple tiers that they can choose. Hey, how badly do you want to screw over this independent creator? Right? They can just take all of your money, or they can take your video down. Okay. If they choose take all your money, which is normally what these companies do, you can, as a creator, submit a dispute. It's called a dispute, in which you have to wait 30 days for them to respond. And then even then they might reject it. So some companies are really good. There are a lot of good companies out there that the system is automatic. It detects your comic. It detects your content, and a lot of companies just automatically have a hey, let's not take the video down, but we'll just claim the money just so no one's stealing from us. And if they submit a dispute, it's immediate release. There's several studios that I love making videos for.
House.
I will submit a dispute and they will release the video within hours. Amazon can.
Pueden chupar pilín.
Amazon and Warner Brothers are the worst, but Amazon is the way worst.
Yeah. Here, Amazon. Warner Brothers. The
Netflix
problem with
doesn't
Warner
care.
Brothers is that I had disputes with them before when Lord of the Rings specifically, they're really, 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 really protective with Lord of the Rings. So I will imagine that Amazon is that protective about the freaking Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't help that because it's critical stuff that they don't want to release it, but they should know that they're going to have to. So they're like,
so
they don't really watch it. That's the problem. It's just that they don't watch it, so they don't know that it's just for use. They don't. They wouldn't.
They watched my video. It was a manual copyright strike, which means they watched it. So what happened? So there's two tiers. The first tier is dispute. You wait 30 days. There's like no legal ramifications. Okay. If they take your video down, or in some cases, you can choose an appeal anyway on just a regular video. An appeal is stronger. It only gives the company 7 days to sit on their hands and do nothing. But if they reject your appeal, you get a copyright strike.
If you get 3 of those, is it?
Yeah, and that's if they take your video down. So they can make it so you can't publish your video. But if you do an appeal, it puts your video back. I didn't even publish this video because I wanted to wait until it was clear before I released it. So this was literally just sitting around in my channel, doing nothing, waiting for these stupid copyright stuffs to lapse. I submitted an appeal because they chose tier 2 of screw over small creator. Okay. They took my video down after I posted it. Oh, after I uploaded it. It wasn't posted. I sent an appeal where you give all the legal arguments explaining why your video is fair use, and they can shove it. Instead of responding to the appeal, which, if you respond negatively, results in a copyright strike. That's never happened to me. There was one video where I used music wrong, and so they rejected my appeal, but they gave me a chance. Hey, we won't take your video down if you just give us the money. And so I was like, fine, I'm still learning. Okay. You can have my money. And that was a super cool company to work with, right? They're like, we feel like you're kind of using our content. So it's like, okay, fine. You have all the money. I don't care. But rather than responding to my appeal, which was based on their copyright claim, they manually copyright struck my video, which, aside from they could have gotten the same result just responding to my appeal, they didn't, because this is worse, because it makes more work for me. So they manually looked at the video and struck it. That does two things. That if I get 3 strikes, my channel's gone. And it erases the paper trail that had already been established with the appeal.
Interesting.
Because that no longer applies, because that was a copyright claim, and now it's a copyright strike. So all of the work. So now I have to go back and make the same argument, right? And it's dumb. And YouTube, they literally don't care until they will only look at a video once you file a counterclaim, which is what I've done. I usually hope they don't respond to dispute. If not 30 days, then it's dropped. Yes. Yeah, that's normally what happens. I've had companies who do a claim. I file a dispute. They wait 29 days and reject the dispute. So then you have to appeal, and then you have to wait 7 days, and then they release it. And you're like, okay, you guys are just being obstinate.
That is just
purpose.
like, holy moly.
Warner Brothers. That's what they do. So
with Warner Brothers, you can not even play with them. They don't have they don't give you no quarter.
So Amazon, this is the worst it's ever been. They struck the video, so now I have to resubmit all of my "Hey, this is fair use" stuff, which takes a lot of time. And the YouTube will only look at a case if the creator submits a counterclaim after you've received a copyright strike. So companies know that they can just abuse the system. If they never take it to a copyright strike, they can just keep hitting you with these claims, and your video never gets released.
Yes.
Until it's too late and the algorithm doesn't care. Like, we're already 5 episodes into the Wheel of Time, and I have yet to be able to release my episode 1 critique video. Pretty soon, it's not going to matter anymore because no one will care about Wheel of Time content because the show will be over, which is what they want because they're bastards.
Yep.
That's exactly what they want. That's correct.
They can't stand any criticism.
And that's why the YouTube system sucks. But YouTube is going to have to look into it now because Amazon stepped too far, right? They struck the video. So YouTube will look at it now and then look to see if Amazon is abusing the system. And I know that nothing's going to happen because, they have a right to. It's bullcrap. Okay?
They don't care.
YouTube does not care about anyone. They take all your money and
they care about money. That's about it. No.
So I'm declaring war on Amazon Studios. I'm not going to stop making videos. I might make shorter videos now. Okay, so screw you. I'm going to make short videos, just criticizing your stupid show. I already don't have time. Okay, but I'm going to make time. I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to just fill my veins with Mountain Dew so I can stay up at night and just make videos about how stupid Amazon is.
Be careful with that Mountain Dew. I would say coffee, some Mexican coffee.
Well, we can't drink
you
coffee.
Get angry.
Can't drink coffee because I'm a Mormon.
Oh.
But Mountain Dew's fine.
Aspirin? I don't know.
No, it's well, we have this thing called the Word of Wisdom, which basically says, don't destroy your body. So, like, if it specifically says
the Mountain Dew will destroy your body.
I know, but it specifically says no coffee. And Mountain Dew, this is a personal choice. I probably still shouldn't do
probably
that.
Just as bad, but it's not.
It's gonna make you sleepy. Like for me, soda always makes me sleepy. So I don't know. Like, drink cold water. That would be cool. Helps me.
Try to do more, just like sparkling water, like the what's it called, the Soda Stream or whatever, and with like little Mios and stuff like that.
That's what I got here is Mio. It's good.
Mio, that sounds like meo in Spanish, which is IP.
It literally is, Mexa. It's mine.
I don't dislike Mio. I've tried it. It's fine. It just sounds really gay.
It sounds like you're drinking piss.
It's amazing though.
It's good.
Yeah. It's just a step of extra work for me that I usually tend to avoid. But I've been finding more and more that I've been getting bothered by the sugar levels in regular soda.
Exactly.
And I'm not one that can go for the no sugar at all. But I need a little lower. sugar than what I usually get in the soda.
Am I a guest
Maybe
star on my
one
own
right here.
show?
Just get fruits. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you mean Tech-Mex or Angry Mex? Because either of us could be guest
I
stars.
was gonna say, Tex-Mex, are you a guest
It's
star?
because
on
of the
the
shirt.
show?
It's because of the shirt, right?
Uh,
I don't know. I think it looks real nice. It's also really, really soft. I don't spend money on clothes, but this shirt just feels really good on my body. Okay. Also,
I don't want to hear about your body.
I like Rippaverse. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool cats. Okay. I'm hoping Senpai will notice me. Okay. Anyway, so I've got the episode pulled up. We can skim through it. Just I can't press play. Okay. I got to push buttons.
I will say too. I probably got to get out a little bit early, and I would love to talk about Ahsoka, especially this last episode. And I know David and I have some things to hash out. But if you want to go there first, you can go there first.
No. We'll do Ahsoka first.
And then David
just
drops right there.
Yeah, do Ahsoka first because I have no idea, with the Wheel of Time. I'm just here for the drama. I'm just here to, hate on Amazon Studios.
Mhm.
I've got a couple bad takes pulled up too, but I loved. I thought this was top tier crap posting.
Yeah.
Mexa, you had literally my favorite tweet of the year. Yes way and no way. I don't know. I just loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, I hate that we are so freaking.
That's good.
I hate that we are so freaking shadow banned on Twitter that 10 people saw it, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But hey, 9 of those 10 people,
It made me audibly laugh. It wasn't just a chuckle. Like I was laughing pretty hard.
Nice. I'm glad that I made you freaking laugh on some freaking stressful days.
Mm. There's some real bad takes on Twitter, guys. Okay.
We gotta get through them before we talk about the freaking Wheel of Time because, like,
Well, most of them are all about the Wheel of Time.
That's fine. That's fine.
Have we heard what happened to David there?
I have no idea. He just disappeared.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's a ninja.
All right, Jared, tell us about how great Ahsoka is.
This episode actually was legitimately great. So, they use the world.
This is the Jesus episode, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it's more the Gandalf episode, but yes.
Right.
So very much in parallel with Gandalf, she goes into another realm and is, comes back as a little bit more refined, a little bit more grown. She has a little fight with Hayden Christensen in the world between worlds, and then he cuts out the platform beneath her, and she lands back in the Clone Wars, and it's a young Ahsoka running through the Clone Wars, and we get to see her running with Hayden Christensen, fighting with the clones, and it looks really, really great. They kind of have some deeper explorations of kind of what it means to just keep fighting and being a warrior when you were trained as a peacekeeper or whatever. Really, really cool stuff. They also flash forward to the Siege of Mandalore, the stuff that you see in Clone Wars Season 7, and that younger actress is still portraying Ahsoka, and did some really cool, really great fighting stuff there in the Siege of Mandalore stuff. And
I've seen clips all over Twitter, but aside from hey, remember when this happened? What did that add to the story at all?
It showed a deeper growth, and it shows her also growing into being a little like as she comes out of it,
a woman,
happy.
Yeah,
she's more positive. She's still folding her arms a bunch, but she's smiling a little bit more and a little lighter, lighthearted a little bit more, kind of trusting the Force kind of thing. That I thought was really good. We get to see more of the Purgils, and they're looking even better. They're still looking great once you get back out of it. I don't know. It was a great episode. There was a lot of fan service, but it really felt like it did kind of further her progression as growing or whatever. So
Yeah, I 100% agree, Jared. I think this episode was some of the best Star Wars I've seen in a very, very long time. Some of the visuals and some of the themes that were handled in this episode, in particular, I really, really wanted to see in the Kenobi show, and I didn't get in the Kenobi show, and I was super disappointed in the Kenobi show because it didn't explore things like this.
It
And
didn't
going
explore
through this
that
episode-
Padawan and master balance, and that leaving the Jedi Order, and how you deal with the person that brought you into this, like, and taught you everything,
Yeah.
and them having left, and how they deal with all that. It was so good.
Yeah, and I agree, Nurpoil. I think Andor as a whole is still better. Most
Still
of
definitely
this,
better written. Absolutely.
most of this season of Ahsoka has been kind of meh, not terrible, but not super great for me. And I especially have been struggling to connect with Sabine, and that was one of the great things about this episode. Sabine wasn't shit out of it. But I really, really like some of the themes, and the visuals were stunning and amazing, and I thought they made really good use of what I was complaining 2 weeks ago that the lightsaber fights were just not very good, and they were swinging around like baseball bats and not hitting each other.
It was last week. It was the
I don't know. I watched the
better.
lightsaber fight, and I gotta say this comment hits it on the head. Hayden Christensen looks fantastic, and Rosario Dawson is so bad. She is slow. She there's a point where she does a spin, and she's literally spinning for like 1.5 seconds, and he's just standing there and waiting. Like, you can see there are so many times where Hayden Christensen gets there on time and then has to wait for her.
Yeah,
she's
not
awful.
the best.
She's horribly cast. I saw the lightsaber fight, and I thought it was so incredibly boring.
I don't think it was as bad as awful, and but I will agree she is not as anywhere near as good as Hayden is. However, the young actress that they had, and especially when she was in Mandalore, she did really, really well.
She did. I was very impressed with her.
Yeah.
It's not the best Star Wars ever. It's the best Star Wars I've seen in a long time.
When she goes to Mandalore in this episode,
they flashed.
I thought for a second you were saying her episode in The Mandalorian was good, and I was like, my head was about to pop off. Okay,
no. So
I will also say another thing that was really great that I've heard a handful of other people talk about that they've missed in a lot of these shows is they haven't used the Force themes, the John Williams themes very well, or much, if at all, in any of the series. And as opposed to in the cartoon series, the composer that they had in that always did a great job mixing good new content with the Force themes and the John Williams themes. Yeah. And that composer has been brought on for this series, and this episode in particular, he did a great job. There was a bit where Jason is sensing Ahsoka being in the world between worlds, and here's the lightsaber fighting going on in the world between worlds. And as he is hearing that, and we're seeing him hearing it, the Force theme builds very slowly, very subtly. It doesn't just like slam into you. It just like suddenly starts coming in, and it builds into your classic ba 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 da da. Yes, Kiner. Nerdporeal has it. He was great in the cartoon series, and he did it really well here. And I really hope Lucasfilm takes him and moves him forward into any other live action stuff that they do, because he did awesome.
He did fantastic. The themes that went through, they went through several themes of Anakin's theme and the Force theme, and then they did a little bit of the Imperial March right there, and it hits. It's really good. And I really, really enjoyed that. I was worried going into it. I wasn't here last week to talk about it, but the ending of the last episode, I was really worried, because the world between worlds is interesting, but it's a can of worms that can open up a lot of stuff. It's to do some time travel shenanigans, and I think they handled it really well on here, and they added to the lore. I think that it kind of felt like it was this world between worlds type of thing. Is this plane of existence that's outside of time and space, but it's also kind of like it's kind of like an afterlife type of thing.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but I thought it was really well handled how they did it, and so this is kind of This is kind of like Ahsoka's, dark side cave experience. if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. It was really well handled. I thought the fights were good. The themes were good. The music was excellent. And I really, really liked the first 3/4 of this episode.
Before we get to your critique of the last quarter,
Okay.
I do want to also say
Three-fourths.
with regards to that world between worlds, because in Rebels it was used in a pretty time travel way. That use in it was basically just time travel. Maybe the smallest weird way that you could say it's not time travel, but it still very much did.
It's kind of the best comparison I can think of is if you've seen Interstellar. It's kind of like the end of Interstellar,
Sure.
Where he sees that bookshelf, and the bookshelf is like all the different points in history of him and his daughter connecting or something. It's kind of like that.
It's like looking through time, but you can't actually
it's
travel.
more looking through time. Although again, in Rebels they do one thing where he does kind of mess with time a little bit, but they address the idea that it's not something you can do on a regular basis. And the other reason that I really like the fact that he brought it in here and used it this way here is because now we have two experiences in the world between worlds. One that did kind of do a time travel thing, and another that absolutely did not. And even in that time in Rebels where they do the time travel kind of saving the person thing, they approach the idea of, oh, maybe I can also save Kanan, and they're shut down saying, no, you shouldn't do that. You can't do that. That would be a problem if you did.
Right.
And so we've had one situation where they did do a little time travel-y mumbo jumbo that's not a great thing to introduce. It's a can of worms, like David said. And they also said, but we realize this is a can of worms, so we're going to try to cut that off. And then they now have an example of it not being that. The parallel that Dave Filoni has given with this is one in the Chronicles of Narnia series. It's like the woods between worlds, where it's a place in between and where you can access all these other places. Sure. As well as the other parallel that he has given it to is Gandalf after he has fallen down with the Balrog, and he finds himself in some sort of extra plane where he fights the Balrog, finishes it, defeats it, and then is able to come back. And here it's really used that way.
That all happened on Arda.
Well, again,
they fought. They fought from the lowest depths to the highest height. They fought all the way up the mountain. They didn't go anywhere special to fight.
No, well, but it still is. It still does have a very like having fallen and died and overcoming and going through a different plane of existence feel to it, even if maybe the specific lores of how it wasn't necessarily a different plane, but it was what he was able to what helped him go from gray to white, and he really leaned into that with Ahsoka, which is why she's been in gray until now and has had even more so has had a very gray personality, more than we've even seen her in Mandalorian. Whereas now you're starting to see that she's coming out a little bit more positive. So yeah. Anyway,
I've been reading The Silmarillion. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
I had to put it on pause because I'm reading my friend's book now, which is also I'm like more than halfway through. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's an improvement on the first one.
So Jacob, I agree that the world between worlds could be lazy writing, and how it was used to save Ahsoka in Rebels was definitely touches on that idea. The way it was used here, it is absolutely not lazy writing. It is going through a dream state, going through an experience, going through a dark cave experience, like
just taking a couple mushrooms and just going with the flow.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So here was a situation where they did absolutely not. Yeah. Taking your tutorial. I like to be a bright center of the universe that you all are farthest from. Wait,
I think my problem is all of this is fan fiction because she was supposed to die in Order 66, and George Lucas is upset that she's not dead. So
I haven't heard that one specifically, but
no. He specifically told Dave Filoni, you can't like the problem that we're all complaining about, how there's a whole bunch of Jedi that are still alive.
Yeah,
George Lucas was vehemently against.
Right, which is still my main issue with the show is
he straight up told Dave Filoni
alive because she's supposed to be off in the far reaches of space looking for Thrawn and Ezra.
He told Dave Filoni
after
upon the creation of Ahsoka's character, he was against her for
It was his
idea, if you do this, she has to die. And but Dave Filoni,
I'd like to see the receipts on that. I don't totally doubt you on that because I definitely agree that they have way too many. But I also find it believable. This is a huge galaxy, and that was huge order. Yeah. There's a lot of people who could have survived and may not have been in the position or in the ability to be.
George Lucas straight up said, and I think this was even before he sold Star Wars to Disney. He said Star Wars has kind of gotten out of my hands, and I only consider the 6 movies canon.
Guess what? That's referring to the EU that everyone's so upset was blown away.
No.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
No. He was not referring.
Even though he approved every single EU book, he didn't care. He did not care about the EU at all. One bit.
The video I literally watched today, he was talking about the Clone Wars bullcrap.
Clone Wars that he was involved with, that he literally helped create. And actually, when they sold to Disney was when Clone Wars ended. So all of Clone Wars up until season 7 was done with George's involvement, as much if not more than anything that's in the EU.
Yep. Yeah, the EU
he was also the one who chose Kathleen Kennedy as his successor. So again, his choices and decisions are not always the best. Because he chose
I agree. Kennedy. I don't think he's the best decision maker, but I hate Ahsoka.
Almost never the best decisions, literally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so David, what's the problem with the last quarter of the show?
Well, it's not. So
it's not they do one problem. Thing. It's just it goes back.
Yeah. So at the end of the show, the acting does get a little bit cheesy, and that bothered me a little bit. But the main thing that bothered me was they gave Ahsoka a force power that is supposed to be very rare among Jedi. I think there's been 2, maybe 3 confirmed Jedi that have this very rare power, and that is being able to touch an item and hear or see memories from that item's past.
The ability that you see used a lot in the Star Wars or in the Jedi Fallen Order. And
Jedi Fallen Order, yeah. And they make a point that Cal Kestis, the main guy in Fallen Order, that is a very rare force power, and not all Jedi can do that. Mm-hmm. And suddenly they have Ahsoka doing it, which, okay, fine, I guess, but it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it bothered me a little bit. So, but the rest of the episode was really, really well done. So I hope this caliber continues throughout the rest of the show, and we don't go back to the rest of it, because the rest of it wasn't terrible. It hasn't been terrible. It was just kind of meh.
To me, if it stays on the level of the previous episodes, I will absolutely love this entire series, as long as it doesn't dip below down to Mandalorian season 3 or Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett. That's where I'm like, yeah.
What if it does go below? What will happen to the show? Would it be like?
I'll be so disappointed. That's the thing. Again, I'm gonna stick to it because I'm gonna shill for Star Wars no matter what. But boy, it's gonna be tough because getting through Obi-Wan and getting through Mandalorian season 3 got really rough to really stay positive through it.
Right.
Might I suggest apathy?
See that
it really helps.
Yeah. The reason why I am holding out hope that this one is gonna pull it out and be decent is that we know that season 3 of Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, Dave Filoni wasn't very involved in because he was focused on this Ahsoka show.
Right. And we all know Dave Filoni doesn't pull out.
Sucks.
I really do think though that if this continues and stays as successful, at least if it stays at least as successful as the first few episodes were, that it really cements that Dave Filoni needs to be as involved as possible in every aspect of Star Wars that he can, realizing that there's only so much he can do. There's only obviously he couldn't juggle Book of Boba Fett and this, and so he can't be put on too many projects and still maintain quality. Yeah. But everything that he has been directly involved with has been good to better.
Better than
from my perspective and from most people that I've talked with perspective. Anything he's been really well involved with has been good to better.
Oh gosh.
It's the stuff that he hasn't been involved with or he has let go beyond him that has really gotten out of hand.
I agree.
Sorry, I just had an aneurysm.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm sorry. Marvel is long dead to me, but I love Star Wars so much that I refuse to let it die. So I keep on holding out hope that it's gonna get good, and this episode gave me hope.
Yep.
So
How much episodes to the ending of this show?
3.
Oh,
There's 3 episodes of Ahsoka and 3 episodes of the Wheel of Time left. Everybody.
there's enough time to screw it up.
I want to call out Martina's great pun right there. It was whaley great.
Whaley. Oh, there was another whale.
Because it was the space whales, the Purgle.
yeah,
Yep.
the Purgill.
The sperm whales.
Yeah, the octopi whale.
You know,
Dave Filoni's seed of inspiration.
Which I don't hate.
Oh, I do.
They're weird, but I don't hate them.
it's grown on me, and they look great in live action too.
They do.
The effects I think have been really good with the series so far.
Yeah.
All
right. Enough Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm just double checking all my bad takes. Every single one is Wheel of Time. Relate Wheel of Time. Oh no. Okay, there's a Harry Potter and a Good Omens one.
Yes.
That you sent me last week and then didn't show up, David.
Oh, I'm sorry. You could have covered them without me.
I know, but we were busy.
Yeah, we were talking about more important things.
Here, we'll do a 2-minute bad take break, and then we'll talk Wheel of Time, and then we'll interrupt halfway through Wheel of Time. We'll do bad takes. It'll be great. Rebels.
After that, I'm gonna head out. But yeah, let's do the freaking bad takes.
All right.
Yeah, I was responding to Nerdporial, who said that Rebels was a major step down from the Clone Wars, but I thought Rebels was much more organized, much more concise. And
it's so ugly. It's the worst animation I've ever seen in my life.
I hate Clone Wars animation way worse.
Yeah,
way worse.
When I first started watching both of the shows, I couldn't stand the animation, but honestly, you get used to it really fast. I like it.
Screen rants. Bad takes.
All right, David, you sent me this one, and it was funny because I sent a response to your email because you sent me a couple bad takes last week, and it was either directly after or directly before I had sent it to myself. So in my emails, there were double ups, one from me and one from David, of like 6 different articles. there wasn't even an email in between. Sometimes he sends me stuff that that's new, but a lot of times I'll have already seen it just because I'm a nerd and that's all I get on my phone now because I look it up so much. Sometimes usually there's a couple emails between his repeat, but it was just serendipitous. Last week it was literally it was funny. But Good Omens season 2 show had. Why season 2 had to be super gay, explained by Neil Gaiman. I didn't read it because I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I assume it was because I felt like it, and because Terry Pratchett would have said no.
Yeah, that's exactly what it comes down to. It's like if they didn't kiss, then there would always be the question of whether they are or not. And so he says that he had to have them kiss just to say yes, it happened, and yes, they're gay. There's no question about it. You can't just leave it up in the air.
Yeah.
They're friends, you psychopaths.
Yeah.
They're good friends. But Hollywood doesn't understand platonic friendship.
Yep. It's really sad that 2 guys can't be friends anymore. They've got to be gay for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's little kids in the Luca show.
I'm pretty sure that the creators of that at least shot that down pretty quickly.
No, the creators immediately shut that down and said, "You sick freaks! These are like 5 and 6-year-old kids. Like, shut up!"
What the heck?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that, Mexa?
No.
Yeah. It's the animated Luca show from Disney, or was it Disney or Pixar?
It's about like 9-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's about 9-year-old boys.
And everyone was like, "Oh, how they need to be." They need to be really gay for each other. We're shipping these characters, and they're like, "This stop." Yeah, they're kids.
It was disgusting. Yeah, but like they don't. Hollywood doesn't understand that anymore.
So. Mark Clark's been a member for 11 months. Everybody, thank you so much for your support.
Nice.
He also just finished reading Lightbringer 2. I missed that one. But if It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Keep going because it's better.
See,
But if you want to become a channel member, it's only $1 a month. And if you want to give me more money, you can't do it on YouTube because YouTube takes half of your money. So I've got a Patreon set up, and I'm trying to set up like a Streamlabs because I've heard that they don't take anything, which is great. But any support is wonderful. Because I would love to be able to make videos full time and, stick it to Amazon even more. But I can't do that unless YouTube is sustainable. So thank you so much for your membership, Mark, and all the other channel members. And you should consider becoming a channel member too. But I specifically made the YouTube thing low because, it gives you access to memes and a community. That's about it. Occasionally, I'll post to channel members. There's another bad take. Yeah, this is real bad. Because now no one can argue about and we can still make the argument. So and Pratchett was pretty clear on the fact that they're just friends. Like that's the whole point of the book. But, okay. The other Harry Potter one. This one's great. You didn't. I don't think you sent this to me, but I read it.
I don't think so. Nope.
I didn't finish reading this article because there's 15 things. It's a listicle. I read the first 2 and I burst out laughing. So I don't know about the rest of this, but you got to experience this with me, okay? The Harry Potter. There's going to be a Harry Potter reboot. Everybody, for context, the Harry Potter reboot wish list. 15 things that fans demand. There's, we're getting a second shot, so we can fix a lot of the mistakes of the movies, and there are a lot of mistakes in the movies. Okay, they are not perfect, but they did some good. They did some good things right. Okay, so learn from the good, learn from the bad, and this could be awesome if they do this well. Okay, we can improve on the book series. Oh, see, I don't love that. Improve upon the book series itself. No, just do the book series. Okay, that's a little silly. I don't like that sentence. But number one,
conceptually, I don't hate it, but I agree that they're probably going to get it all wrong.
I do agree that the books are great, but they did not really utilize the the Horcrux and the
Sure. Okay, small things like that. Yeah, like start talking about that stuff earlier on.
Exactly.
You could improve on the books. Realistically, what they're going to address here is probably not actually going to be an improvement on the books.
Okay, but point one, not bad. You could the movies, you had the wrong eye color for Harry Potter, so you could take the opportunity to be more book accurate and have Harry have the right eye color. And if the actor does it, give him some contact lenses. Okay.
But Daniel Radcliffe couldn't handle the contact lenses. That was the problem in the movies. So they were going to, but they couldn't. So they just
really.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I mean, back then they were really freaky. Like, oof, they were painful. Like they were torturing their poor.
Yeah, that's true.
And at this point, they could probably actually do some CGI to replace it if they needed to as well.
Yeah, that's
something else
expensive and unnecessary.
Probably if they could have do it.
It is so easy. I don't know why they don't do it. It's so freaking
easy. But it's not a bad point. Hey, we can take this opportunity to be more faithful to the books. Point 2.
No.
Make Hermione black.
But it was Sirius black. Oh, you mean sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I love how that actress too is like 30, 40 years old. Like what?
My guess is that's the actress that they had in the stage play version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess. I have no idea.
The older Hermione.
She is. Yeah, she is. They're exactly right.
Okay.
But right off the bat, they ignore their logic for their first point.
Yeah.
Be more book accurate. Be less book accurate. Yeah. This is the one too that I could see J.K. Rowling, since she's involved. This is a change I could see her actually making because it sounds like 100%.
Because that's a change that she made, even though there were illustrations in the book. She said, "Oh, whoopsie, Hermione was supposed to be black the whole time."
That's J.K. just being stupid to say, "Oh, that's what she meant the entire time," or that she wished. No, you can
Well,
go back and say like,
yeah.
okay, I realized whatever I wanted to do, I could would want to do it differently in the future, whatever. But
Yeah.
no, okay, you did not write her as a black character. No,
Right. It's one thing to say I should have made her black because of X and X and reasons or whatever.
Right.
Or if I were to do it again, I would have done that. But no, she was supposed to be black the whole time when you approved illustrations for the book.
And
she was
literally never
clearly
described
not,
her
you know.
as anything but
Yeah.
white with mousy brown hair and like that's not mousy brown. Like no,
Yeah.
Again, I actually wouldn't even hate this if it's done well, but I know it's a really touchy, iffy thing that they're probably
it's gonna be a red flag for me. Like if she's willing to do that, who knows what else she's gonna put into it. So like
again, this is JK who just has a tendency of doing those sorts of weird things.
But it's 100% this one is going to happen though, because J.K. Rowling has gone on record saying that she was supposed to be black. So of course they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's the funniest thing ever. Hey, be more book accurate. Hey, be less book accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're going to be real women.
The rest of the list should be great.
Mark Clark, thanks so much for the $2. They could give him yellow wolf brother eyes. That's actually honestly one of the things they're doing okay much better in season 2. In season 1, you couldn't even tell that the eyes were changing color, but you could. They're at least with that effect. I don't like what they're doing with Perrin's character, but the eyes look fine.
Yeah, they're pretty long. Are we not going to go through the rest of the list, or are we just leaving it?
Do you want to? I don't.
I think it's fun sometimes to laugh at these, but we don't have to. I don't want to.
Okay. A kinder portrayal of Ron Weasley. I don't even know what that means.
They just kind of made him an idiot in the movies.
Yes.
Let's make Voldemort sympathetic. I
What?
don't care. Better Quidditch matches? Sure. Do more Quidditch. Great.
The Quidditch is fun, yeah.
Wardrobe update for Wizards. I don't know. I thought the costumes were probably some of the best part of Harry Potter.
Well,
Yeah, they were really good.
Instead, it did start.
Clothes. They started doing them in regular clothes later, and it was like a little less magical. I don't know.
Exactly. It was just more street pedestrian Muggle clothes in the later movies.
More older Weasleys, sure.
Because most of it was like the school stopped being important, and it was more about the thingy, the Horcruxes.
I hard disagree with that one.
I wouldn't mind seeing some more of the Marauders, though. I don't know.
No. I think the more mysterious they are, the more interesting they are. Don't spoil the magic.
Mm-hmm.
A redemption arc? Yes,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Agree.
Yes.
As a less sympathetic Severus Snape, huh?
I don't. I've never heard of dad casting before, but I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. I think it's more just like because he has a very
you know what we need
to him with the big.
You know what we need though. We need the shirtless Adam Driver. The wide Adam Driver. I can teach you how to bottle fame.
Ben Swolo.
Yeah.
There we go. Voldemort was just trying to fix climate change by killing Muggles. Absolutely.
There you go. Make him a sympathetic Thanos purpose for.
Yeah, Voldemort is not supposed to. He's not the kind of villain that's supposed to be sympathetic at all.
Severus Snape is supposed to be the sympathetic one, sort of.
Right.
There are some where it works, and most of the time it doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't work is usually because the writers don't believe in good and evil, and so they don't know how to do it right.
I will say, at least some of the times that you guys have criticized, I've been okay with the idea of exploring the fact that it's more complex than that.
Sure.
Even like Thanos being an example of like, no, Thanos was wrong. Thanos was a villain, a genocidal maniac.
But it worked.
However, there are reasons why people can be like, oh, I can understand. There are reasons why people think that Thanos was right, even if he was absolutely wrong and did it all the wrong way.
I don't know what you're arguing, because everyone agreed they did Thanos right. That was a good example of a semi-sympathetic villain.
I just think that there are some other places where there have been sympathetic villains where it's like, I don't think they're trying to say that the villain was right, but they're trying to say the villain has a point and they're going about it the wrong way.
Right.
Pretty much every Marvel movie now.
I was going to say, I know the big one for me is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I felt like they didn't say those people were right. I think that they said they have a point and they're bad, but they have a point, but they're bad.
They turn her character into Jesus at the end.
Yeah.
Nah, not really.
They have him. They
come
have
on.
wings on her as she's descending from.
Not
the
on
heavens.
her. It's on him. He is holding her as he
It's
is
bad.
carrying her.
It's real bad.
After she not only attacked the
You gotta stop calling them terrorists.
but also after she shot him and was fighting against him. Like,
Yeah.
no, they did not redeem her. They did not. Anyway, we can continue on with the next one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people complain about Jenny.
Yeah,
in
it's
movies.
tough. It's tough because when you cast that young, you don't know, and she was just not.
And it's also
Great.
movies versus now they'll have a TV show, so they have more time to explore it as opposed
For
to the
sure.
movies that had a small amount of
For
time.
sure.
So, yeah.
No, I don't want flashbacks. I don't want it. Better build up to the main relationship, sure, whatever.
Contradicting their second point.
Oh, it's the screenwriter is so funny sometimes. Anyway, that's been some bad takes. Don't worry, there's more later.
Very good, very good.
Nice.
Well, if you guys are going to hop onto Wheel of Time, I think that's where I'm going to drop myself off. But best of luck having fun, and hopefully you can.
There you go. Loki's a good example of a semi-sympathetic villain.
Yeah. He's been kind of all over the place. I don't love him as much as a lot of people do. I think he's fun.
In the first Avengers movie, he's good.
Yeah, I had to leave as well. Thank you so much,
Thanks for tuning in,
guys.
man.
No, thank you guys for having me as well as
we love having you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And yeah, I hope you resolve the issue with the freaking Amazon. I freaking hate Amazon with all my heart.
So what happens now is I submitted it. They did it in the middle of the night, right? They have 10 days. Well, okay. YouTube reviews it, and if they approve it, they send the information on to Amazon. So YouTube is now officially involved. They can't, whatever. Once Amazon gets it, they have 10 days to either drop it and restore my video, or sue me. And take me to court. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. But it's like a civil court or like what kind of court?
Civil court, yeah.
No, go on.
So I'm either going to get the video back or I'm going to get sued. Those are the only two options right now.
Yeah.
But it's so obviously fair use. I think that's
crazy. They're obviously hoping that you're not willing to go to the extent of
it's intimidation. They know it's scary as hell to push that button. Hey, you could get sued if they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's intimidation. They don't want to go to court over some stupid video that's probably going to get 500 views.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want the video to exist.
Yep.
But if they take me to court, I'm setting up a GoFundMe and I'm going to court.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll devote my entire freaking channel to taking Amazon down because they can eat my stinky butt. Screw you, Amazon. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Angry. I'm talking to you. We've both been.
And you tolerate talking to me. It's good.
We need to watch more. We need to watch more Star Trek together.
Exactly. Yeah. We gotta set it out this week. I hope you're less busy.
I hope you've all been watching Ingramex's channel because it's fantastic. You do a really good job of getting like the kind of clickbaity cultural like news gems, like relevant nerdy news. You're on that and you do a really good job.
Thank you. I'm getting better at it, I hope, and I'm gonna keep at it. So yeah.
I used to do a lot of videos like that. Now I just don't have time.
It's harder. Yeah, it's harder. But right now I have the time, I guess. Don't have a life, literally.
I'm lactose intolerant if you need help with this thing. Great. You can eat Mark Clark's butt too.
No, I mean, not me, but Amazon.
Sorry.
Yeah. See you, buenas noches.
Both their butts. I'm shocked that no one else on this panel has offered up their butts as well. So thank you, Mark.
Bye.
Hey, bye. We're going to talk about nerdy crap. Stay on the line, everybody. Quit sleeping with your wife. You'll have loads more time. The joke's on you, Mark Clark. My wife doesn't sleep with me. Oh boy.
Ouch. Yeah, sorry, my internet keeps dropping out.
Yeah. Episode 5, baby. All of the Wheel of Time freaks on Twitter are saying episode 5 is daddy. And it's so good.
Are they now?
Yeah, it's the best episode yet. It's perfect. It's peak. It's peak. It's more time wheelie than wheel time has ever wheeled. Is
it's
one
probably
of the tweets I read.
it's probably the least bad episode, but it's still not great.
It's still really bad. I don't understand that. Oh, this one's not as bad as others. It was slightly more exciting. There was a couple more things that happened, and granted, there was kind of one scene from the books in this episode.
Yeah,
not really, but it was close. The rest of it was not at all. But you've got this wonderful, wonderful bad take from dragonmount.com themselves. This is the website where Robert Jordan used to post his blog. And this is their proof. When the book cloaks complain about how clearly the writers have not read the books, which they have not, we can point them to a scene of Jessica and Varen getting drunk and talking about handwriting as proof that they're wrong, because that's so exactly spot on for Brown Aja. Yes, a character who doesn't exist in the books, and Varen doing a scene that doesn't happen in the books is proof that the writers have read the books, because it shows that that Brown Aja are nerdy.
Yeah, exactly. That's about as deep as it gets.
Screw you, Dragon Mount.
Also,
you can't point to a scene that didn't happen in the books to say, look, they clearly read the books. Also, I hate this scene. This scene is awful because it spoils two very, very important and awesome plot points that happen later on in the books.
Really?
And this
like
literally
after
spoils it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like this spoils probably my favorite moment from the books in 13.
Really?
It's either 12 or 13. It's the last one that Robert Jordan wrote. It's in it's in Night of Dreams. This literally spoils my favorite moment from the book. When it happens in the TV show, people are going to be like, "Oh yeah," because they were talking about that in season 2.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize that. I was freaking laughing at this scene because she has like this eidetic memory, right? So she goes in and observes the handwriting. But then she says, good thing I have this eidetic memory so I can explain how these handwritings were different. And then she pulls up a sample of both of the handwritings. It's like, okay, did you like rip it from the book?
She copied it. She copied it from memory.
So why do you need to
explain
the eidetic memory if you have the freaking sample of the handwriting right there? You say, hey, look at this and look at this. It's like, let me show you how awesome I am by telling you how I can remember how this thing was written, but then also show it to you right after. I'm like, I was laughing so hard. I was like, why the hell do you need to do that?
So salty traveling sea, man. I'm right up there with you. I am so past Disney Star Wars. I can't watch it anymore. But I still have to watch this dumpster fire. And you need to come on my show. I sent you a message. Come on my show and let's talk. Yeah. What Dragon Mount? Oh.
Where did Jared Prime go?
I don't know. Jared Prime, here, you get to move up.
Sweet.
Anyway, it's also book canon that getting drunk makes it so you can't channel. Very well. You can still do it, but it's like,
yeah,
it like severely interferes with channeling. But I guess they
That's
didn't
funny.
need to channel here because whatever. And I think technically Jessica is mentioned like one time in the books, but this very easily could have been literally any other Aes Sedai.
Yes, Mark Clark, you are correct. It is the actress that plays Cho Chang
Yes.
from Harry
Yes.
Potter.
I don't have anything against the actress. Just cast her as someone who's in the books.
Yeah.
She arguably has more screen time than Matt.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Also, without talking about like the big spoiler stuff, this is not information that Varen would have shared with anyone.
Okay.
Hey,
Jared.
She would have gotten the information. It should have just been like a scullery maid who walked in, scribbled some stuff down from the book, and then handed it to Varen later. And there shouldn't have been a conversation. And then you would have been thinking, wow, what's going on there? Even that might have been too much, in my opinion. It might have spoiled stuff that happens later on, but this ruins. Don't you think, Jared? Don't you think it kind of takes away a little bit of the kick that you get in book 12?
Oh shoot! I don't even remember
Varen?
that kick, man. It's been so long. I'm like, shit. What
You
happened?
don't remember Varen's character arc?
No, I don't.
You don't remember the conversation that she has with Egwene?
Hold on. Let me look it up. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah. Do some Googling real quick, Jared.
Yeah.
I can't speak to it because I've only read the first 3 books, although I held off reading the rest of them because of this show, and I don't freaking care anymore. I started reading book 4 yesterday,
Keep
actually.
going, man.
So I'm going to finish it.
That'll help you more anyway. If you finish the series, then you'll be able to see they're ruining stuff that happens later on.
I
There's no
specifically
point in trying to keep up with the show anymore because they're not
exactly.
adapting the books.
That was my thing. I wanted to just read books 2 and 3 because this is what supposedly what they were going to be adapting. So I wanted that knowledge to be in my head and nothing else. But I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm going to finish the book series and have a good time.
Sorry, I gotta go. I'll be right back. One second.
Fine.
Sorry.
Jared. Anyway,
yeah.
This was my least favorite part of the entire episode. I hate it so much. And this is great. Show cloaks are the new book cloaks. This is a guy who's a fan of the show. He's like, show cloaks are the new book cloaks for the fandom, in my opinion. This episode was improved, but it's still fairly mid. If you take it, he's like, guys, chill.
Yeah.
You're really, really stretching here.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate show Varen. She's terrible. Anyway, this is this is not ironic. I'll just put that there.
Yeah. Are the rainbows the things that we've seen so far?
Yeah, and they're missing stuff. Like we've had a That's So Raven Min moment with Matt. We got it. We've had Aes Sedai intimacy.
Not with each other.
Oh, with each other. Yes, we have. Oh, not in season 2. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Mention of pillow friends. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. Moraine and Swan in the same room. Well, you'd just be able to check both of those off at the same time.
Exactly.
Shirtless lion. I hate everything about this. Non-binary Min, you should be able to check that off immediately. She's not a woman, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I gotta Google that word, and I don't want to do it on stream. What is?
Yeah. What's next?
I got to turn safe search on for a second.
You're doing it right now?
Okay, it just means lesbian. Come on, grow up. Use a real word. Anyway, Yeah. So those are just a couple of the wheel of bad takes. Oh, we'll do one more. We'll do one more before Jared gets back. So this was great. Rotten Amazon has got a whole bunch of smoke blown up their patoots because of the certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes of season 2, at least. Season 1 was not fresh. Season 2 is fresh, and that means it's good, right? Right, David?
Totally.
If season 2 is fresh, that means it's good.
Totally.
Let's ignore the fact that literally just last week Rotten Tomatoes was busted for paying for good ratings, right? Or accepting payment for good ratings, right? Let's ignore that. And let's actually look at the numbers here, which Disparu, wonderful YouTuber, check him out. Also, come on my show, Daddy. I would love to have you. Love Disparu. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? Season 1 had 90 reviewers and over 5,000 audience reviewers, and that's what you got. And then go to season 2, and you have half of the official reviewers and a fifth of the audience.
Right.
So what,
wait, hold on.
David, what does this tell you?
81% is certified fresh, but 88% is regular fresh?
Yeah. So it's certified fresh on both accounts, is what it is.
No. Certified fresh is different than the regular fresh.
Yeah.
Certified
so David,
fresh. Yeah.
But let me ask you a question here. So lots of people watch season 1, and you could argue that maybe 40% of the people who watched season 1 didn't like it.
Right.
So then go to season 2, and you've got way less than 40% of the people still watching the show. Who do you think, David, if you didn't like season 1, are you going to watch season 2?
Not unless you're
you're not going to do it, right? So if you David, are you saying that the only people left are people who liked season 1?
That would
David, are you saying that that's automatically going to improve the audience score? Is that what you're saying, David? Are you saying that this number is literally worthless because the audience left?
Yep.
And a bunch of people have been saying it's review bombing. I haven't rated either season. I just can't be bothered to. I haven't done it. I can't do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm
I also refuse to rate a season until the season is over.
Right. Exactly. They are so full of crap.
Yep.
But there we go. All right. We'll save the rest for later.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah, I did. So yeah, I recall now what you're talking about. And
don't you think this kind of ruins that big? That's a gut punch. You're like, oh, Daddy. Oh man, I didn't realize that this has been going on the whole time. No one who's seen this episode who gets to that moment, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we know. We already knew.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, I mean, because it makes me wonder too, because technically, right, like all this Black Oddjaw spy work is supposed to be done by should be done by the girls.
Yes.
Yeah. But it looks like it's setting it up that it's going to be more of like Varen and these guys, and I'm like, I don't know.
That was part I loved in the books. They were these novices, and they were called together by the Armerlin seat. Well, technically, it wasn't both of them, but both of them got roped into it, and then they roped Elaine into it. But it's like they're brand new, and the Armerlin is like, I can't trust anybody except you because I know that you are novices and you're untainted. You haven't been here long enough to be corrupted yet. So she trusts them in rooting out the Black Oddjaw, and it's like, I'm sorry, I also can't support you because then they'll know. So you can imagine the daunting task of being a brand new person to the White Tower. You're just being trained. You don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're tasked with hunting down a freaking black Aja that nobody is going to admit is actually a thing. That's an amazing, incredible.
I know, and you have like multiple, and now you have just multiple characters just acknowledging, hey, oh yeah, the Black Aja is a thing, and you're like, no, like anytime it was ever brought up in the books, people are like, you're an idiot for even suggesting the possibility that a Black Aja could exist because the three oaths, blah 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 blah. You're stupid, and they put down, and so the girls feel even more isolated because they literally cannot talk about it to anyone. Right. With this stuff, I'm not even 100% sure if they're going to do the big part of the twist.
What twist?
The twisty twist part of the twist.
Oh, at the very end that you're talking about?
I think it's only half of the twist.
Huh.
I don't think they're going to go full twist with Baron. I think they're going to do twist and shake instead of a twist and twist. Come on, baby, now. Sorry, twist and shout. Oh no, it's twist and shout. TV Man is not beautiful. Thank you so much, Mark.
We'll see. How, I mean, that's the thing. That's in book 12. That's going to be way down the road.
Is it?
Get that far.
It might be season 3. Who knows, Jared?
That's true. Maybe.
Yeah, they might realize they're not going to get all the way there, so they just jump to the end. Right? I agree. Mark Clark says TV Min is not beautiful. She is described in the book as a tomboy. But then she puts on a dress.
She dresses like a tomboy, not because she looks like a man.
Exactly. She's a beautiful girl who dresses like a tomboy, and then she puts on a dress, and everybody's like, "Who is this person?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Brandon Sanderson does not pick Amazon for his adaptations.
I don't think he would.
Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. Apple.
I don't know. I haven't seen any Apple TV stuff except for the Ted Lasso show. So
Ted Lasso, which is great 2 seasons, and then completely craps the bed in season 3, and I hated it.
I've heard some good stuff about Severance. I've heard Severance is good. I've heard Foundation is not book accurate, but it's its own good thing.
Severance, I genuinely loved. Severance was fantastic. Ted Lasso started off real good, and I blame season 3 on the divorce because he stopped writing the show. He couldn't do it because of that whore. Who publicly cheated on him.
Yeah.
And bragged about it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Olivia Wilde sucks.
I do not like Apple as a company, but
I've heard Silo is good too. I haven't watched it yet.
I've more and more. When Apple TV first came out, every commercial that I saw was like, that does not look mildly interesting to me. But now
there's a lot.
Like, I might want to check that one out. Oh, I might want to check that one out. So
they've also made some like good movies.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
I detest Apple as a company. Okay, I literally cannot believe I'm saying this.
I love them,
but like maybe Apple. I don't know.
Yeah. Apple.
They don't have like a real big they don't have a fan. They've got a lot of sci-fi. They don't have a big fantasy. I think.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't. I haven't seen a lot advertised for that at least.
Yeah. But if Brandon Sanderson went to Apple, I would definitely have to sign up because I can't not. But I don't know. It could be Amazon too, because Amazon has still done some good stuff.
Stay away. Stay away.
Yeah. Sorry I missed all the other bad takes though.
No, we just did a couple of Twitter takes. There's Jared. There's more. There's more bad takes.
Okay.
We could go through the episode. There's more bad takes, or we can just do I hated this episode.
Well, because here's the thing. It really they're getting points, right? Like, and we talked about this last time. Like they get points of the story, right, which kind of helps you be like, oh, like for those that have read the book, they're like, oh, okay, they're getting to this part. Like, but the way that they get there is just so it's so different than the book that it just is weird. It's hard to say at Wheel of Time. I mean, it kind of
Well,
still
yeah.
feels like maybe some of the world, right? So it's like a Wheel of Time world, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you're like, that's not how it happened. Like, for example, where
It's-
Perrin goes back.
The problem is by the they don't know what they're doing. So by the time you get to the point that was made in the books, it means something completely different.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. It does. I think it's important that you point that out, that it means something different the way that they get there.
Yeah.
Because that is true. Like it's not just about connecting the story and being like, oh, we just did this and this happened in the book. Like we got to connect them. We got to get Perrin to this point, right? It's like, okay, what's his arc as Perrin's getting to this point in the story, right? Like, what is it saying when he gets to this point? Yeah, I think that's very important to consider when you're thinking about, what this TV show has done.
Yeah, and I think nowhere is that more apparent. Nice job. I think nowhere is that more apparent in this particular episode is when they Leandrin hands them over to the Shan Chan.
It's
like that.
But
Technically,
they just been knocked out the whole time.
yeah, but yeah, we'll get. I mean, you want to jump around or you want to go at chronologically?
Oh my gosh! Oh no, I think I broke my microphone.
Yeah, you're really quiet.
Yep, there we go. Stop auto leveling. I turned off auto leveling. It adjust. Oh, baby, there we go. It's because I yelled. Is it because I had to erase? I had to clear the cookies because it keeps diverting to Spanish. Stupid Talk Studios. All right.
Weird.
I had to clear my cookies and it still didn't fix the problem. Good thing I can read Spanish. Anyway. Okay, so you've got late episode and I cannot press play, so I just got to tab through. Okay, we get Shan Chan. They just look so stupid. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we get... So,
I mean, I think it's not bad. It's okay.
I like the main girl's helmet. I think it looks...
it's a helmet.
Intriguing, you know?
So we get Suroth. We get her banishment scene.
Yeah.
Where they chop off her fingernails. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, production-wise, they're not real fingernails. They're just clip-ons. And I thought that that's what the show was going for. Like, it's just like it's a ring you put on that makes it look like you have a long fingernail. Because they're clearly not human fingernails, because human fingernails do not grow that way. So I thought it was like a decoration. You adorn yourself like with these, you pull it from another animal and you stick it on and you pretend like it's yours. Yep. But this episode implies that they're self-grown.
Yep.
Because she cannot return to society until she's presentable again, because they cut them off. It's like cutting off a Native American's ponytail, or in certain Native American,
or like Asian cultures,
or Asia as well. Like that's like a huge disrespect, and you have to grow it back. Whatever. I don't. But like that's so. It's so silly.
Especially with how long they are. If you've seen any human fingernails of people that grow them crazy out, they curl. Even if you try real hard, like you can't. It's so silly. Oh, it looks stupid too. Yeah, and it does say in the books they have long fingernails, but this is just absurdly long, right?
I don't know. I mean,
oh boy,
it's an interpretation, and that's the thing. Like setting up these sorts of things is like lore.
Right.
I mean, I'm not distraught about it because it's not like
it's just weird.
It's not like it's not going to break the story.
Yeah, no, but it's dumb. It's not. It's definitely not the worst thing on the show. I understand that.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot better if they were 5 inches long and not 16.
Well, but here's the thing too, though. I mean, with his too, like his look like they might. I mean, I was thinking they really might be rings. I don't know.
They
maybe that's
clearly look
something we
like
need to worry
clip-ons,
about.
right? And I'm okay with if they were clip-ons, it would make more sense,
Yeah.
right? I could understand that. Oh, this is clearly decorative, and you obviously like can't function in real life. And I get that there's some behind that too. That we're so important that we don't ever have to do things, and servants will do it for us. But like they're doing a war. You can't walk around with fingernails like that. So it would make more sense if they were clip-on ties, right?
Yeah.
It's is it Tuon? Is that the man's name?
It's something like that. Yeah, Lord.
I believe it's Tuon.
Yeah, Lord Tuon. Yeah,
that might be the other character. That might be the speaker's character, though. The Suroth speaker. That might be Tuon. I can't remember his name. He's not in the books for very long. Okay, spoilers. Anyway, I like that he's black. Like,
yeah.
Turok. Thank you, Mark Luck. Thank you. Yeah, like it's never explicitly stated. Like, yes, Tuon is the daughter of the Nine Moons, right? Okay, Suroth, Turok. And I can't remember. The speaker has a name too, but it's never explicitly stated that the Shan-Chan are black. It says they have darker skin, and it's kind of implied that Tuon specifically is black, but it's never like explicitly stated. It's never explicitly stated because Robert Jordan didn't care about skin color. He didn't care about racial dynamics. He cared about cultural dynamics. Right. And he was way more interested in creating cultures that clashed rather than caring about what race they were. But you could glean from the books that the Shan-Chan were probably all black. So I like that Turok is black, but it's so funny that they can't make a whole race of black people because they're the bad guys. And Tuon is kind of the good guy of the bad guys because he's not a dark friend, and so it's okay for him to be black. Your racism shows, Amazon. It really, really shows. So, yada yada yada. I love that she doesn't even bring up, hey, like I have this powerful channeler. Right, I did all of these awesome things, and I brought you all these gifts. In the scene where she's getting punished, it has to be a Shamael that brings it up at the end of the episode because they
which channeler? Oh well, they don't have it yet at this point, though, right?
Wait, I thought that happened at the end. No, you're right. Okay, you're right. Yes. Oh gosh, I hate what they've.
But they do have the Horn of Valir, so it's like
you're right.
Apparently, that's how it happens. It's presented to him. Because
I know the fact that obtaining the Horn of Valir is not like penance enough for like the slight mistakes.
Yeah.
Like that's literally game changing. And she still gets, this doesn't, in case you're wondering, this doesn't happen in the books. It's made up. It's silly, stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
There is some infighting, a little bit of bickering, but this is just ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing too, like, because to be honest, kind of thinking about it now, like the problem I've had so far is that like in the Great Hunt, most of that book is about how Padon Thane is ridiculously evil and how they're following his trail and they're seeing all of these atrocities that he's done. And then later you see him giving the horn to Turok.
Yeah.
Just because that's what he was asked to do. But it's like it's more of like Padon. It makes it feel like it's more Padon Thane's responsibility. And in this show, it's just like, he just shows up. He's like, yep, hi. Like
there's also a huge plot hole which they just didn't think about. Is they have the Horn of Valir. And one of the big things that happens in this scene is that they couldn't hold the city. That they were kicked out by the White Cloaks, and that's why it was an embarrassment. Oh, you took a city that you couldn't hold because you didn't have enough troops, and that's why we're cutting off your fingernails?
Yeah.
But she has the Horn of Valir.
Yeah. I mean,
And
and he mentions that, hey, you couldn't hold the city, but if she has the Horn of Valir, why doesn't she be like, oh, here,
she
here's
could have
the-
held the city.
Oh yeah, but
She
the
had
thing
the
is-
Horn of Valir, Jared.
Yeah, I know, but they don't necessarily know how to open the box.
Yes, they do.
Well,
They've
I don't know.
got a
if she did.
Shamael there.
True, but I don't know if she knew that. I mean, like
It's
that's
so
the thing.
it's just so contrived. It's so silly.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing though. It's like because the Horn of Valir, like yeah, you have the horn, but you also have to know how to open the box. Like that's why
It
Pat
wasn't very hard. He went chuk chuk and it opened. Okay?
I know, and I thought that same thing because I was like, oh, that's kind of funny that that's all it is to open it because literally that was one of the big points too in the book. It's like Rand is able to open it, and then he puts the dagger in the box too.
He has to channel to open it, right?
I don't remember how.
I believe
but
so.
he figures out how to open it, and he puts in the dagger. But then Selena can't open it because she doesn't know how to open it. And same with Padam Thane. Like Padam Thane gets it back, but then he's like, "Oh, like hey, like here you can have the box, but I don't actually know how to open it." So
I know. I love that he saw the unopened box and knew that it was the Horn of Valir.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too.
It's been missing for how many thousands of years? Yeah. Except it hasn't been missing because it's just been under a chair the whole time. And they didn't use it to save Faldara either, which is dumb. Yeah, in the books, it was harder to open the box. Padam Thane didn't know how to do it. Selene opens it for Rand. Okay.
No, Selene doesn't open it because she specifically is like trying to get it from Rand.
I think she's trying. I think they're. I might have to look it up. I think they're right.
Hold on. I just read it, and I thought when I read it the first time
because she's trying to get Rand to blow the horn. So it was open when they were doing.
I think she might have opened it. I think she did open it and then give the box to Rand
because she doesn't need the horn. She needs Rand to need the horn because she wants him to crave power.
Yeah,
Padam Thane didn't know how to open the box, but Ashamael sure as crap should have known if Turok knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's things like that.
She opens it up. She wants to tempt him with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That is true. She does open it. Yeah.
Oh, everyone's calling Lanfear queen, and she's so boring in the show. She's so. It's just. The whole point of her character is she's supposed to tempt Rand, and it's just not. That's not how it's playing out. It's dumb. Can I say I hate this look for Ingtar? What? Like they're prisoners, and they've dressed them up and put makeup on them.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Well, maybe it's just because they're presenting them as new slaves. I don't know. Or new prisoners.
They put eyeshadow on him. I don't get it. So silly. I like his little head scar things. I think those are cool. I honestly, I like this casting. I think it's great. I think he looks cool. And I think his antler stuff looks a whole lot better than her. And there was a funny comment, but we were talking that her face reveal was terrifying. They're trying so hard to make the Shan Chan terrifying, and they're failing so hard, except when she takes off her mask, because dang, she is freaky looking.
It was definitely different.
Yeah, for sure. Just remind me I can never press play, or I'll probably still get a copyright claim for showing stills. Yeah. This scene is silly. Like, those are, look how thick those things are. The fingernails are literally thicker than her fingers.
Yeah. They're pretty thick.
Which is fine if it was lore that they're clip-ons. Just make, like,
I mean, and that's the thing. They haven't explicitly said anything like that. So
come on.
they haven't.
Like, you're not allowed to return to society until they grow back.
Well, they haven't.
That's what they were implying, though, Jared. Stop. Why are you being such the devil's advocate?
I'm just saying, you know, maybe that's what they intend, and maybe that's how it plays out. But
that's obviously what they were implying.
That's all we have is one episode to go off of.
There. Oh man.
That's all I'm saying is we only have one episode. If it continues that way, then maybe. But
who's this guy? I just saw him for the first time. It looks silly.
That's what happens when you pause your brain.
Oh man. I mean, obviously we can see. Oh look, you. Okay. We know that they're clip-ons in real life, but they're trying to imply that they're not, and it's super duper silly. I hate Ishamael.
It's weird that Ishamael, because it's like you don't even see him at all or hear about him at all in the books.
They're trying to do the thing with Ishamael that they later do with Morghese and what was his fake name? Starts with the G. Gabriel? I believe it's Gabriel, who turned Robin / Gabriel. They're trying to have him like be present and no one kind of notices, right? But they kind of, which is, you know, suggesting compulsion and Gabriel. See, I'm a nerd. Okay, I'm not making quite as many mistakes as I did last week. I know the books pretty well. Gabriel / Robin. They're kind of trying to do that for Ishamael. That was kind of spoilery. So I was trying to just say Gabriel. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know, because I just feel like putting him there though, like I don't know if that was his role, right? And I don't know if so. It seems kind of weird, but that's okay. Maybe they have a better.
See, that's an understandable slip up. Okay, most of those letters are the same.
And that's most of Wheel of Time. There's so many names like that.
Yeah. I don't like what they're doing with the Ishamael. Like I get what they're trying to do. I don't think it's working. I think maybe it could have worked, just giving him more of a presence. But it's not working. Right? Well, I don't think inherently it's a bad idea, but it's not good execution. Whatever.
I think what they should have done is put him more in the background, right? So that's
the problem. If he's doing this kind of character, it should be in the background, but he's doing everything.
Yeah, it seems like he's in the front a lot, and it's like
he's supposed to be getting other people to do things, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be up in front because then people start saying, like, who is this guy? Which is what happens with Gabriel.
Well, and that's what that's what happens in this same episode. Turok's like, you've gained esteem quickly.
Yeah, Turok, exactly. Because he's not in the background, Turok's like, wait, who the heck are you and why do you have so much power?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, but you brought me to Horn of Valyr. Okay. All right.
Good night, Jacob. Thanks for your support. You're a great guy.
Thanks, Jake.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Okay. We're still on scene 1. Okay.
Rapido.
Okay. We automatically know that this box is the Horn of Valyr. Like, it would maybe if there was like some kind of distinguishing like symbol on it, right? But it's just squiggles. Like, how would you know that that's the Horn of Valyr box? And we don't even get to see it. There was like some weird blah blah blah.
I know they're keeping a mystery. ...
The Wheel of Time. I watched like the talkback episode where like, well, we just wanted to make this like, so this is her healing herself.
I saw that.
Um,
Where she literally kind of like,
which makes it
unzipped,
worse.
like,
It makes it so much worse. They were trying to say we wanted the Forsaken to be super, super scary, and for you to be intimidated by them. But she was literally incapacitated. Moraine could have chopped off her head. And the fact that she doesn't makes Moraine look like an idiot.
Yeah, like why did she wait this long to heal herself?
She heals herself and fixes her blouse. Thanks for pointing that out, Book Cloaks. And cleans it. She mends and cleans it, which you could mend a shirt with the 1 power. That's the kind of like precision stuff you probably wouldn't want to use the 1 power on. It's a little frivolous and it would probably be fast. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's silly. The fact that she's healing herself makes the Forsaken more powerful and makes the main characters more retarded. They could have just killed. They could have chopped her up into little bits and then put those little bits in boxes. Sent the boxes to different parts of the world. And I don't understand this choice here. Yeah. I'm not complaining about that a whole lot. But like it would make more sense if they do it like the book does it and have the Dark One resurrect her and give her a new body. This is
because
silly.
that is the thing. Because now it's just like she's stuck in this body, and I was gonna say as I thought it was in the book, it's like you get different
that's like the whole thing from the books is you can do a lot of stuff, but you cannot bring people back from the dead. That is a hard limit to the 1 power. Well, if someone is dead, you cannot bring them back.
Because they tried it a couple times.
But this show has done it so many times already. They brought Nynaeve back from the dead. End of season 1. They stabbed Loyal with the soul-sucking dagger that kills you instantly.
And then he was fine the next
season. Then don't even talk about it, and he's fine.
Yeah.
And
let's keep going, though. She
can heal herself. So stupid. She could have regrown limbs like Deadpool. Maybe, yeah, but at least they could have tried. They're like, those wounds won't even stop her. But, well, maybe keep wounding her then. I don't.
Dead.
Yes, Shills will point out Lanfear is using the true power in the shot. Yes, which also canonically cannot bring you back from the dead.
Yeah.
And they showed her like die. They showed her eyes close, and then she opened them back up to whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and then I will just say too, the other thing that I thought was interesting, that was funny about this scene, is like she's got her arm back like this or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then like when it shows her healing herself, she's like,
yeah.
I'm like, wait, like what happened to her head?
Nothing.
Like,
nothing happened to her.
Nothing happened to her head.
The answer to your question is nothing.
Exactly. I was like,
but it looks cool, so they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, she is using the true power because it's black, and that is not what Oh shoot. Okay, here's the real test. Sidar looks like.
For girls, yes, it's Sidar.
God!
Yeah.
I got it right, baby. Whew. I can't tell you how many times I had to Google it while I was reading the books. Oh, frick, which one's Sidar, which one's Sidine? Okay.
Yeah.
They start off the same. It's
one sounds more masculine, and I always attribute that one to the feminine side. Sidine sounds more feminine.
It does.
That's the masculine.
That's
side.
a good way of reminding it. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I do it. But I did think that was kind of interesting how they showed that, how she was kind of like, I mean, it was a cool effect, you know,
and it does look different.
It was cool.
I think most like book readers are going to be confused and think that this is Sidine, but it does look different. Maybe, it's like it's like tendrily, you know, it doesn't look like the weaves. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't remember Lanfear knowing the true power in the books. But whatever.
I don't remember that.
Who cares? She definitely does know how to travel, though, which she brings up in this episode and then just doesn't use. After the two thing, it's about time. Hey, I got it right this time. Got it right.
All right, let's keep going.
Blah 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 blah. We're gonna run on foot to go get horses. This scene is so.
Why
dumb.
she didn't already have a horse? I don't know.
Yeah.
And why does
How
she
did
have
she
a
get- how
knife
did
like
she-
this in the back? Like
She
I don't
has
get
a
what-
back scabbard for a knife. It's so
I know. I was
stupid.
like, why does she have a back scabbard? Why not like I don't know. But anyway, sorry.
Okay.
There was a lot. Where
If
I
you're
was
going
like,
to have a back scabbard, it makes more sense for it to be a knife than a sword because you could actually pull it out. But it still looks silly.
Yeah.
How did she get there? She got there in the nick of time, apparently without a horse.
Yep, exactly.
But then she goes down to the stables to get a horse. And there's 3 horses, so she has to kill one.
There's 4 horses.
So, 4 horses, right? Because the lady takes a horse. So rather than taking all 4 horses and having a spare horse that you could rotate to go faster, she kills one of the horses so that they don't leave it behind and Lanfear can't catch up.
Yeah.
Moraine is retarded. Everything this character does, it's so antithetical to her character in the books. She's just constantly making stupid choices that make her look like a freaking idiot.
Well, the hard thing is like, again, none of this is in the book, so it's like hard to follow like where this is going or why it's going there. Like, and then later on, she goes and they end up going back to her family's house, right? And then they're like, okay, we can't go to sleep, obviously, because of the. Anyway, sorry, I'll let you maybe point this out, but I think that
that's a good point.
But it's like
yeah.
it doesn't seem like there's really a point. And then she's like, oh yeah, I mean, and this is kind of we'll get to that point. Never mind, keep going.
I know a lot of the Forsaken do use the one power, and they don't like doing it because it drives you crazy, which is a big plot point at the end of the book with the one Forsaken who's using it all the time, and he's crazy, and he's also in charge, and that's terrifying. Yeah. But I don't remember Lanfear ever using it. I don't know if that means that she didn't know how to do it, or if she just didn't ever use it. But I'm not sure if all of them know how to use the true power, or if they just chose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sidene, male. Sidar, female.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, this plot, I mean, it doesn't seem well put out. And that's not Moraine. Like Moraine was always like, oh yeah, I'm here and I have everything you need. Like, let's go. Like
it just logistically it makes sense. How did she get there? She ran the whole way? It makes no sense. But the people don't think about this stuff. They don't know how life works. They don't know how to write. She would know, but but the dude, the Dark One granted his favor sparingly. Well, the Dark One, okay, right, yep. I was going to say something that was not true, and I realized it was true. Realized it was false. Okay, so we get this wonderful scene where someone else shows up, so she takes her horse, and then she says, I don't know, I hate using horses because traveling is so much faster, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we get this wonderfully boring scene that I don't even know why it's here. It's you can't go to that city, but I want to go to the city, but you really shouldn't go to the city, but I want to go to the city, but don't do it.
Yeah.
Great. Who gives a crap? Then we realize that it was a trick. Oh, we jumped off the road and we literally using that poor innocent woman as bait. Moraine is an evil character. Show Moraine is legitimately evil.
And she definitely wouldn't do stuff like that. But.
Blah blah blah. Hopper's nice. Okay.
Well, and then this was another thing that I thought too is like there's things like this where it's like, okay, well clearly they had to put this in here so that he could, later free the Aiel, right? So it's like, okay, well, like they're putting it in stuff like this that is not necessary.
And doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The White Cloaks strung up these cages, and because they obviously fought some of the Shan-Chan, they strung up the Shan-Chan, and then they found a random Aiel who was just there, strung her up too, because they're White Cloaks. That's on point. That's in character. And then they took the body of clearly someone executed by the Shan-Chan and strung it up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, Jared, it does make sense because it's the only way that Perrin would have gone to the village, because he needed to see a vision of Uno so that he would go to save Uno, and then he finds Avienda and they get to talk about how they want to have sex. They're writing the show backwards. I've said it every episode. This is not how you write a story.
Yeah, because
they know where they want to go, and then they're just boop, 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 and it fits together, and we're gonna stop thinking about it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, it made more sense where they were traveling through, and they stopping us in, and they're like, "Oh, why is this Aiel hung up in this random town? Oh, she attacked a bunch of our people, so we hung her up." You know, it's like. But like this, yeah, and then Perrin's like, oh, they just randomly put this Aiel up, and so I need to free this person that obviously shouldn't be in cage, which they kind of captured with this, but it's still just like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yes, this goes along with my last point. Show Moraine is evil. She murdered the ferryman as well.
Oh yeah, in season 1, yeah.
Before I get to those other comments, though, I hate this depiction of the wolf site. This is them like showing him images of the past, right? And it happened in the other episode where they like showed him the family because they were trying to do the Rand flicker moment, but Rand wasn't there, so they gave it to Perrin. It's his wolf powers. They can see things that happen in the past, and or I guess that's what the wolves saw, and they're sending it to Perrin. Except why would the wolves have been inside the house watching a family eat dinner?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, because that's the thing. Like, this Eyes is all about what the wolves are seeing and how the wolves are communicating, and they explained it like that too.
I would much prefer it if it was like a That's a Raven. That would be the perfect way to show his wolf powers. If he starts connecting to the wolves and it goes, and then he sees like shadowy, like, quick flashes of this is where, because it would have to be from multiple wolves at once, and you see, oh, the village is under attack, right?
Yeah.
That would look so much better. Yes, backwards writing 100%, because they don't know how to freaking write. I hate this depiction. It looks silly. It doesn't make sense that's how the wolf visions work. The only possible justification is there in the books. They do say when they're talking, sometimes they like send images to each other, but it's images of what they're currently seeing, right? Like, it's like,
well, but even this, it's like they wouldn't be sending a picture of what happened. No. It's not about him.
They'd be sending feelings, and you're right. Like,
I agree, and that's how they explained it too in this show, and so that's why it's like, okay, it just doesn't quite make sense. It's not all fitting together. I hate
a horrible depiction of the wolf powers. Yeah. Yes, and why does Dane Bornholt, notorious stick up his butt character, give Avienda water? It's so that she doesn't kill him in the next scene, because they have to show her being cool and killing a bunch of White Cloaks, but then not killing Dane for being nice.
Yeah.
What if Hopper wanted to eat Uno's corpse? Probably that's why it was on his mind. Sure. Right. So blah 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 blah, and we get the magnificent Dane Bornholt. Honestly, I think Dane is some pretty good casting here.
Yeah,
I think he's doing a really good job. And he's kind of likable. Right
now, I'm sure that'll change.
He's just the worst.
I
really like Dane Bornholt's character.
Yeah, he's a White Cloak.
Fantastic. Yeah, and then the magnificent, fabulous, stunning Eula Smart, also wearing eyeliner in this shot, which is just on point with
And to be honest, I
yield.
wasn't disappointed with her.
I thought she was a horrible actress.
I wasn't too disappointed. It wasn't too bad. There were some points where like she like laughed or like
Her laugh is uncomfortable.
well, it just seemed out of place. I was like, oh, okay, like the thing is, like the Aiel don't really have, or at least the ones in the first couple books, they don't really have, like they don't come across as having a sense of humor, right? Like it's more of just like, oh, like we just don't understand.
They do have a sense of humor, and no one understands it.
Yes, that's it.
And
it's like
it's an inside joke that you're not a part of, and you're like, what are you laughing about? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I feel like they haven't captured that because there's a lot, like she's just like, oh, I'm just the funniest person ever, like. And it's
But
like,
Shoaiel in the show that translates to, you want to bang? I wouldn't be opposed to it. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we don't understand it because that's what she was. I mean, it's a joke that's not understandable. I don't know.
All right, Dane Bornholt. I felt like he was the best part of the episode. So tell us how butchered your character is. I kind of liked Dane Bornholt in the show. It was a breath of fresh air.
I mean, and this is just an intro, so I think we'll see more of him.
The scene was fun, and I like these. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense why he's wearing a different color because they're very pompous about their whites, right?
Yeah.
But maybe he put it on purpose because he saw this guy sneaking and wanted to not immediately reveal that he's a white cloak. And Valda, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. He's too likable. Got it. Yeah. Dane Bornholt is the worst. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just the first we've seen him, so it's like maybe that's how but that's not necessarily how he'll be portrayed later on. So
right. I cannot take Valda seriously after his emotional breakdown in season 1 is what are you? Like, I've literally just murdered a whole bunch of Aes Sedai. I have a whole belt full of Aes Sedai rings, but I get scared because a dude's eyes turn yellow.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I remember talking about that.
I kept hoping Dane would die.
In the book? Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got a good arc. And it makes sense, right? Because is Joffrey in the show? Is Joffrey going to be in the show? That's the question.
Wait, what's the question? Sorry.
The question is Joffrey Bornholt going to be in the show at all?
No. Well, wait, so Dane's the father then, right?
No, Dane's the son.
He's the son. Right? So that's the thing. Because
they haven't even introduced Joffrey. He's arguably a much more important character for this book.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Well, because literally, like, that's Dane's whole like motivation as to why he's like such a dick too, is because he's like
is because of book 2.
Yeah, because he's like, well, okay, maybe I don't, maybe I shouldn't spoil it, but
yeah, don't spoil it. Don't.
Everyone
who's watching the show knows what you're talking about, so you don't need to say it out loud in case someone doesn't.
But anyway, yeah, his motivation is what makes him a dick because it's all just a big misunderstanding that he's been told.
Right. So maybe that's why he doesn't suck yet because it hasn't happened yet. Okay.
Exactly. Right. So I'm like, maybe later it'll be.
Maybe later their show will be good. Eventually,
that's what we said last.
Maybe 5 seasons in, it'll get better.
Yeah. No. I will not hold my breath.
They did show him in season 1. I thought that was no, you're right, it was Joffrey. Yes. He was in the first scene with Valda when they're stopped on the road.
Oh, so did he die there? Is that where they killed him off?
No, they didn't. Oh, Jared, we said we were going to say the thing.
Dang it.
He's supposed to be in the season.
We're scrubbing that, right? We can edit that later in post.
Sorry, he dies. Okay, he dies in the end of season 2.
Chill.
Jared ruined it.
Take it.
Yeah, I guess he was in that one scene. Great. Whatever. All right. It's fine. But most of this is just really, really boring. And then, okay, I don't understand what Moraine's plan is here. Like, clearly Lanfear is going to catch up
Okay, here's the other
and
thing.
just
too, though.
murder this woman.
Yeah, here's the other thing though too, that like speaking about like the seasons. This season was supposedly supposed to be book 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
But I am really like I've only seen book 2, and if the comment about that being in the finale,
Well, it's because there's Aiel, which is why it's book 3.
that's
It's book
dumb.
2, but with some Aiels.
That's dumb. Yeah, because I'm like, like I haven't seen any book 3 in here
Oh,
yet.
and because Rand isn't in it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's book
All right.
2, but without Rand, which makes it book 3.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Am I wrong?
Maybe that's why.
Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
No, you're right. Maybe that's why. Because yeah, book 2, he's definitely a lot more involved, and then book 3, he's gone. Okay. All right.
So Moraine's plan is to just sacrifice this woman. But because she's a strong female character, she doesn't die on screen. Okay, so
She just can't talk anymore.
so we're doing the classic "you don't have no mouth" thing. This effect looks so bad, and I would love to press play and just watch it, just react to it. But Amazon's gay, and so it looked so bad. It looked so silly, and her acting in this scene was really, really cringy. Oh no, I don't have a mouth, and also just the whole thing. Oh, I took away your mouth is just so overdone, and the rationale behind it is just stupid because she says, "Okay, I don't want you to tell anyone that I'm after these people, so I'm going to take away. You don't have a mouth. Does she have hands? Can she still write? But like specifically, she doesn't want Moraine to know that she's onto their ruse. But
Yeah.
forgive me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't seeing this character again with no mouth tell Moraine everything she needs to know?
Yeah.
Couldn't you kind of glean from that maybe that Lanfear found out? Lanfear's she's just helping her lose weight, guys. It's just so silly. Why didn't she kill her? Because also,
I mean, she blew off the head of the other guy. So I mean,
this isn't my point because a lot of people pointed this out, Jared. I want you to see something. So she shows up, right?
okay.
Realizes she's going the wrong way. Jared,
And then she keeps going the same
yes.
way.
She keeps going the same way.
That is true. That is funny.
It's just lazy filmmaking. That's why I'm saying, like, I hate the show because of what it's done to the books, but take the books out of it completely, and it's still just a really crappy to average show. It's so bad.
I mean, yeah, as far as storytelling goes, I would agree with you. I think there's some good effects, there's some good acting, but yeah, as far as storytelling goes, yes, I can agree with you on it. I mean, there's some great sets. So it's not all horrible.
There was a shot. It wasn't this episode. It was last episode where they reused. It was. I forgot to bring this up. It's where Rand is in the. I keep forgetting the name of it because it's not important. He's not in the big city though. He's in the Watchtower city, right?
Yeah.
Tower City, whatever.
He's in like a suburb or whatever of it.
Yeah. The Watchtower, whatever. There was a shot where they showed the innards of that city, and it was once again reusing the set for Tarvalon and Shadow Logoth.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because
They
we
used
talked
it-
about that in the first season.
They used it.
We're
for
like, because we noticed like
third
this, we're like,
city.
wait, does that look like Shadow Logoth?
Yeah, it is. They reused it in the season 1 for Shadow Logoth and for Tarvalon, and there was one shot where they used it again for Kyrian.
That's funny. True.
It's so cheap. Varen shows up and does the dumb scene. Of course, there's a midget. Who cares? I don't know. Just inclusion, whatever. It's fine at this point. It's just par for the course. They didn't give her anything to do. They didn't give her an important role. They just have her in the shot so they can check a box off a list.
Yeah.
And then we get we complained about it last time, how it was stupid that Leandrin knocked them out before channeling through the ways. And we're thinking there's literally no reason for this. We found out in this episode the reason was so that she could set them free and be redeemable. Because for some reason, redeemable, relatable Leandrin is a thing in the show. And so again, they're writing the show backwards. They wanted to give her the moment that we'll see later where she sets them free. And if she hadn't already attacked them, they would have been ambushed by the Shan-Chan, and she wouldn't have been able to have that awesome girl power moment, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, true.
So once again, they're writing the show backwards. Okay, where they know where they're going, and then it's because that's she did it, even though it's a retarded decision, it makes no sense. She could have just led them through the ways because they would have come.
Yeah.
They would have followed her the whole way. Because A, that's how it happens in the books, and B, she's the one who told them that their friends were being attacked. Okay.
Yeah.
Which also happens in the books.
Yeah.
But because they needed to give her a girl power moment, she attacks them before the ways. So that this moment can later happen in this episode. Jared, what problems does it create?
I feel like you're fishing for an answer here.
Yeah, she has to carry them.
Oh, yeah.
Shielded through the ways.
Yeah.
And
she's got to shield three people.
Yeah, she has to shield them the whole time, and she has to carry them through the ways. Because in season 1, they said no horses. Which is
right, because they left the horses behind, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did, which is not book accurate. I'm glad they retconned this, but they just retconned season 1 because she brings horses through the ways, and Jared, she channels the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because
Jared, what does channeling in the ways do? What does channeling in the ways do, Jared?
It brings Chin or whatever it is.
Chin. It brings the black wind. There, yes, there are horses here. You don't see them in the shot, but they come through with horses. She exits the ways and has a wonderful stupid, dumb. They could have revealed Forkroot here, which would have spoiled later stuff, right? But it would have been consistent.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what they're going to do. But it's true. I mean, I don't see any horses here, but so that would be funny if there's horses later, because then it's even more inconsistent.
Well, they're not in the shot. It's fine. There's they're not going to put them right next to the fire. It's fine. They're right there.
Where?
Horses. Horsey?
Yeah, they do.
Horsey.
Like it. Yep.
Trace horses.
Yep.
So, like, even forget the books. The show isn't even internally consistent.
Well, and then Nynaeve has to wake up and have a little chat with her about why. Oh, you weren't trying to get me to be a red Ajah. You were trying to get me to be a dark one. Oh, okay. And then she's like, "This week."
This comment is golden. What does the Black Wind say to Leandrin? because apparently instead of being scary, it just tells you the truth. So you have massive cheekbones, and you're a sympathetic villain who's a victim of sensual assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't devour your soul, so what's the danger? Yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. Yeah, this was cringy, blah 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 blah. Oh, and we get this scene. I'm so mad at you because I did what you said, and I did, and now my fingernails are chopped off. Blah 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 blah. Who gives a crap? Blah 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 blah. She's. I don't like. They're giving them all American accents, which is almost book accurate. They're supposed to be Texans, but I think it sounds kind of silly because you can see them every once in a while. Their accents slip, and they do a little bit of British because everyone else is doing typical fantasy British speak, and so. When every time the Shanchan are in a scene where they're talking to a regular character, they sound American, and then sometimes copy. There's a couple words where they sound British, and you're like, this just sounds bad. If they would have gone Texan, as is canon, it would have been a whole lot easier.
I didn't actually catch that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's not explicitly stated in the books, but someone asked Robert Jordan.
If they're Texan?
They're supposed to have a Texas accent.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. Didn't know that.
Yeah. But it would have worked better. It would have been like, wow, this is a choice, right? And now it's just like, oh, they're Americans? That's kind of weird. Right? But if they would have gone full Texan, it would have been like, that's interesting.
That is interesting. Well, maybe they couldn't, because then Texas would be like, what is this?
I mean, it would have been a great, I don't know. Well, it would have been better if they were black too, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the scene's about, but I can't play it, right? Because
it's basically them being like, hey, trust me, it'll be fine. And then basically
she's mad. She's like, you need me. You need my army. We both served whatever. Who gives a crap? Yeah. Perrin being more boring with his mouth open and just never doing anything interesting.
But did you see that's an axe that he has to open the cage?
Yeah, which he immediately doesn't use in the fight.
No, he uses it.
Did you notice that?
He uses it at the first.
I didn't see him ever use it.
Yeah, he used it at the first. He
doesn't even, dude. The dude's got wolf powers, and he doesn't even scope the area out. It's obvious that they're waiting for him to release the. So stupid.
He doesn't know it yet.
But because he's a moron.
I know. That's the thing. At this point, he should have already had the whole thing with Elias. He should already.
Character was clearly fishing to see who this mysterious stranger is, and explicitly tells him, "Don't free the Aiel," and he very clearly wanted to free the Aiel, so he's just waiting for him to do that.
Yeah, well, that's the dumb thing too, because
it's not subtle at all.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense of the book where he's just like, hey, I'm being a good guy. Like everybody else is in there partying, and I'm gonna go out here and free him. And then he ends up having to kill a bunch of people because they catch him.
He doesn't get any kills.
Yeah.
Freezer, blah 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 blah.
And then that's when they introduce Faye. Hold on, shoot. Fael. That's when they introduced Fael, because Fael's this random girl that's just like.
I don't think Fael exists in the show. I think they're gonna do a Perrin Avienda or something. I don't know.
You know what? They may not, because he already killed off his wife.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do, but Fael is great, and she should be.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a big part of his character arc too, like Perrin's character arc.
Also. If you're wondering, this is technically book 3, right? No.
No, it's book 2.
It is book 2. I'm wrong.
It's book 2. Yeah,
you're right. This is during the hunt.
Yeah,
because the whole thing because Fael starts talking about it. I'm hunting for the horn, and they're like,
exactly. So are we. Yeah, because they're going through a town.
Wait, no.
No, wait, that is book 3.
This is book 3. This is book 3 because Perrin is not with the group. He's with Moraine, isn't he?
Yep, you're right.
He's with Moraine, right?
With Moraine and
right.
Lan.
I liked Barrel. Yeah, I know. Barrelane definitely should have ended up with someone.
Yeah.
And not the rando that she ends up with. She should have Barrelane ends up with a rando, and so does now this is the other one. It's a toss-up. It's either Gawain or Galad, and I don't know the difference.
I don't remember it.
Hold on.
Yeah, which one's the self-righteous?
I'm gonna go with Galad. Barrelane ends up with Galad? I thought he marries that rando. Oh no, I'm confusing him with that other group of random nobles that Rand runs into when he gets stabbed by the dagger. You're right. Okay, they do end up together. I was gonna say they should have ended up together, but they didn't. It's been a while since I read the books. Yeah, Galad is White Cloak. Gawain is Warder. Okay. Try reading the books for the first time, like 20 years after the fact, and going audiobook. So not being able to remember the difference between Gawain and Galad, and also not being able to Google it without getting massive book 14 spoilers. Yeah. Try doing that. Yeah, Barrelane was better. Barrelane should have. Anyway,
I know, but still, like she's still a big part.
Anyway,
of
the
Perrin's
point is
arc.
that this scene is technically kind of almost book 3,
Yes,
and I hate it. So, Dame Bornholt says,
doesn't make any sense.
"Okay, attack him all together and all at once." And not
he sits back.
not only does he not do that, but
Yeah.
no one else. They all take turns. It's so dumb. And what infuriates me is if you're in this situation, the obvious thing to do is don't let them circle you. Well, you're already circled. You don't want them to close the circle. What you do immediately, you immediately run to the side, take out one person, and get outside of the circle. But instead, they stand there, and this is supposed to be a tactician, Avienda, Aiel. They're supposed to be good at fighting, and it just shows them being stupid, but they're invincible because it's Mommy Milker's Avienda. And she can do no wrong, even though she's making a horrible tactical decision here, waiting for 3 minutes to attack. And then she straight up fights for 2 minutes while Perrin stands there.
No, see right there, I think is where he probably attacks one of them with an
I know.
axe.
This is like she takes out like 5 guys while
Yeah.
Perrin stands there watching.
He probably takes one guy out of it.
I watched this scene back a couple times. He stands there watching.
He definitely
for
uses his axe
2 minutes.
one guy on
Yes,
one guy.
I'm saying he stands there watching for 2 minutes, and then after she's fought 5 guys by herself, he does attack one guy.
Okay.
And this choreography is awful. It's chopped all to heck. It doesn't look good, and he does hold an axe, but he doesn't get to use it because. Oh no, that's her. That's her holding.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
they
the
give
wrong
the axe to Avienda.
No, that's not the same axe.
Oh man, I just can't press play, so we're stuck with the frames that we get.
I know.
Don't kill him because all of the sudden we care about morality on this show.
Oh, but he's also way important later on.
Stupid. Okay, so they go back to the family, and then we get more drama. This guy was okay, not in the books, so I don't care about him.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. I'm gonna be a king, and so you're gonna be my subject. Sure, like maybe if the rest of the show was good, I wouldn't mind this scene, but it's just like, why are we spending so much time on this crap when we
Yeah.
don't get anything from the books? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that this scene was inherently bad, but I was cringing the whole time because I was like,
You know why though?
why do we care?
You know why? This is where Rand starts to get his nice clothes. Because that's what I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they've got to dress him up nice, so
He gets
he's
a
got to be
glow up.
introduced. Because literally right here, he's like, "Can he borrow some of your clothes?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll give him some of my clothes."
It's much more entertaining in the books when Moraine takes his clothes and burns them.
Yeah.
So he has to dress nice. It's hilarious.
I
It
know,
happens like
right?
4 times in the books, and I love it every single time. And he's constantly trying to hide his clothes from Moraine, so she'll stop forcing him to dress like the Dragon Reborn. It's hilarious, and
It
this is just cringe. Anyway,
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
agree.
blah,
but
blah,
I
blah,
think that's
blah.
where they're taking it. So now it'll bring into more of the, hey, this is
Yeah.
why he's dressed up.
Again, and like this scene would be a whole lot more enjoyable if I hadn't read any of the books, but because like I don't think inherently it's terrible, but because we're choosing this over the gold that's in the books that we threw out, I hate it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we get the wonderful scene where it should have been the Scullery maid that came in afterwards and wrote stuff down from the book and gave it to her. You might have left for that part, but we already talked about this scene to death, right at the beginning, where they're massively spoiling the end of the books, and just Aes Sedai getting drunk. Remember when in the books how getting drunk was a taboo, and they used it to illustrate how bad an administrator Elida was? When her keeper walked in on her drunk, and they're like, oh yeah, she's just not good at this job, except it doesn't matter because because you have the girls making toilet wine in their rooms.
That's true. There is a lot more of that in this.
Why?
Like that's never talked about with Egwene either, or Elaine. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, silly. Okay, she comes through with horses.
There's the horses. Yep.
And then I think what you're doing is evil, even though I'm literally working for Satan himself. But I'm gonna have a stick up my butt about it, and I'm gonna be the one in charge and not you. And how does this not get like Leandrin executed by Ishamael?
I don't know.
This choice to
Also,
in last episode, Binky Lady is able to sense if a person is capable of channeling by sight.
Yeah.
She's able to point to them. And yet she doesn't sense Leandrin channeling here to release them from the one power.
Well, dude, she's got a binky in. So
it's her binky.
She can't tell him.
Right. Forgot about the binky. I hate these guys. They look so silly. This is not intimidating.
Here's the thing. Even the one on the left, like, I think that could have been intimidating, but they left her lips open. It's like, it just looks weird.
It's really weird. Such a silly design choice.
And there's probably something to be like, oh, her mouth is speaking for, I don't know, something like she's speaking for the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the girls escape, not because they're proficient, but because Leandrin is sympathetic. Yeah. Oh, it's so cringy. Blah blah blah, and they don't. I love that they don't even show Egwene getting captured. Like the girls don't even notice that she's not there until, wait, where did she go? She got captured. Oh, so silly. And then we get the, hey,
And then there was nobody else saying, trying to chase the other girls, right? So it was just like, oh yeah, okay, they got away.
They stop.
Right?
They stop and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And no one is chasing them. It's so cringy. And this set is there's been some bad sets. This one is the fakest looking set of all. This is clearly inside of a building somewhere, and it doesn't look good. As opposed to this set, we're like, oh, they're outside. Sure.
Yeah.
Then we get the cringy, hey, wanna bang scene. And I can't stand a Eula Smart's acting. But Slay Queen, she's perfect Avienda mommy. And camels. I don't remember camel. What is this?
This is just showing them entering the city.
Oh, they go into the city, and they
Yeah.
found clothes before they got into the city. And then, like, I know that Nynaeve is stubborn, but she's a legit moron in this scene. And at least Elaine gets to tell her, hey, you're being an idiot. Like, they're looking for us and you're being stupid. But it makes her character legitimately look stupid and not just obstinate. Like, it's like Nynaeve was the one in these scenes saying, like, we need to chill, like, we need to wait. Even though
She's
I
the
would love to,
wisdom.
yeah, she stops herself in the books. She's like, it's so hard for me to not just run in guns blazing and save this girl right now.
Yeah.
And stupid. It just, I don't know why the show just makes these characters.
Well, and then Naive's the one that's like, oh, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Like,
Yeah.
she actually ends up figuring out how to open.
Elaine is kind of
maybe
clueless
they'll do
in this part of the books.
At least
But
in these one, yeah.
like, I just don't understand why the show just constantly makes these characters unlikable and stupid.
And then later on in this, like, the warder just like throws him against the wall to knock him out. Just be like, oh.
Oh, this is a great point. Eula Smart looks more like Perrin's sister than Rand's.
It's true.
She does not look Aiel because she's not. But then they get once again, pushing someone up against a wall equals knocking them out.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's silly. It just makes these girls look helpless and silly. And for 1 second, I thought the show was introducing a character from the books. I thought we were going to get the thief catcher. That's a I don't remember his name.
The thief catcher.
Yeah. The one who he comes in book 3. And they use him to hunt down the Black Aja.
That's not book 3.
Yes, it is. The girls. The girls use Julian Sandar.
How do they use him to hunt down the Black Aja?
They use him in book 3. The girls, once they get their mission to hunt down the Black Aja and they can't have anyone help them, they have to find someone to help them, and they know that they're walking into a trap, remember? So they find a thief catcher to say, hey, we need to look for this person. His name is Julian Sandar, and I'm going to spoil it because I don't think anyone watching at this point cares about spoilers, and also because I doubt it's going to happen in the show. He betrays them. He sells them out to the Black Aja, and they capture him.
Yeah.
They lock him up, and that's when is it Elaine? It's Elaine, because that's the funniest part of the books is that Matt shows up to save the girls, and they save themselves because they go into Tel Ayan Riyadh. And man, that's a good scene. Is that Egwene or is that Nynaeve?
No, it's only Egwene at the first. She's the only one because she gets the ring.
That moment from book 3 is tight. When Egwene does the dream stuff with the one who's watching them, and then Matt literally shows up as they're freeing themselves, and he's like,
"Oh man, I was just coming to get you guys."
Matt Matt's character in 2 and 3 is just fantastic, but specifically in 3, he's the greatest character because he just gets mistreated constantly by these girls, but he's still, out of the goodness of his heart, there for his friends.
Yeah.
and they don't even appreciate or notice because they free themselves by the time he gets there. But he does get to do some cool stuff. And luck powers, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice Matt isn't in this episode
Yeah, I did.
at all? Well, I thought that they were introducing Julian Sandar here, who, even after his betrayal, has more to do in the books and kind of repents a little bit, and he's a cool character. Turns out it's just a random Aes Sedai and his warder who aren't. They're just new characters.
Yeah.
I don't understand these choices. Like these girls are supposed to feel completely alone here.
Yeah.
They have to solve their own problems. But hey, we got an Aes Sedai in order to help you. This show actively, constantly shoots itself in the foot. It undermines its own narrative and its own like cool moments that it could be having.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing.
God only knows why. Like I don't know why they're making these choices.
Yeah, like that's the thing about this particular circumstance, right? Is that like when you read it, you're like, oh man, these girls are screwed.
They're
like,
screwed.
How are they going to fix this? They are all alone, all the way across the map in Falma.
But they're not alone anymore.
And it's like, how are they even going to figure this out?
They're going to be protected by a guy who knocks them out in the streets rather than saying, hey, I'm a warder.
Yeah, right.
It's just so silly. Oh my gosh. And then this wonderful scene of subtext. This scene was like the straw that broke me. And when I was watching this scene, this is the Wheel of Time. This is Rafe Judkins with his head up his own butt trying to do House of the Dragon, where 2 characters are having a conversation, but they're actually talking about something else. And it's so poorly executed. The entire time I was watching this scene, I was like, I just want to be watching House of the Dragon. It's so cringy. It's so bad. And no one is subtle. Varen straight up says, oh, you brought back the thing that the one thing that could confirm your alibi. And instead of being coy about it, I'm just going to say it to your face, directly implying that I think that you're lying, which again, completely spoils Varen's character arc. And they have to tell the actress who's playing Leandrin to just pretend that she doesn't catch on because she's retarded. It's such a bad scene. Go watch this, and then go watch literally any scene from House of the Dragon, and you'll be like, oh, and then go back, it's night and day, quality and crap.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. They're trying to bring in drama. They're trying to bring in, this big old, ooh, can we make it the next Game of Thrones? And it's not working. It's not working.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember hating this scene. I thought, in fact, I think I kind of enjoyed it, and then it was like, oh, it was a nice, like, hey, it was the one scene where Moraine wasn't being a total dick, and I think that's why I liked it. I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of nice.
She was being nice, letting her sister help her.
I would enjoy it a lot more if the rest of the show included literally any scene from the books.
Yeah,
I'll forgive you a little bit of additional material if you want to flesh out some characters that maybe didn't have the same amount of screen time in the books. If you were at least trying. Yeah, and then it was supposed to have some kind of revelation at the end where she's like, "Oh, I need to make sure that what I'm doing is right." Like that was the lesson learned from the scene. Is are you
Well,
sure? Are you sure that what you're doing is what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing?
No,
I
if it's
hadn't paused to think about if what I was doing was right.
no, if it's true. Well, so I think
If it's necessary, absolutely necessary, right? That was
well,
the
I
phrasing.
think the what I took it as is that she's more of like she says basically, "Hey, Rand needs my protection," but does that is that necessarily a fact, right? Like, does
Yeah.
Rand really need my protection, right? And so I think it wasn't necessarily like, "Oh, okay, am I doing the right thing?" But it's more of like, "Okay, was this statement that I've been
Mhm.
fussing over,
Right.
is it true or not?"
Yeah.
Which I thought was good.
Oh,
I mean, I thought it was an interesting,
It's not the worst thing in the show.
Yeah.
It's still like when you think about it, it's a little bit silly. It's like, oh, I hadn't thought about what I was doing. I never paused to
Yeah.
think if what I was doing was good. Like the way it was presented was obviously less. It was more nuanced than that, and it was better executed. But still, it's a little silly.
Well, but then the thing is, it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do? Oh, okay, I need to have Rand go in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and the reason why I don't completely hate it is because it leads to like a decision, and that hey, let's stop running and let's prepare you for Tel Ayan Riyadh.
That's true.
But also it's a little silly that Lanfear can just find you anywhere. Like that's a huge plot point in the books that like it's really hard to find a specific person. I mean, you can do it, but I mean, I guess Lanfear would be the one who's able to do it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not the worst thing. This is the worst thing. This is the
This is really weird.
I can't complain about that when this exists.
Yeah, this is weird.
What is this show? Why is everyone in this show so horny? Why is every single scene in this show about sex? Why?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was just really awkward, and I was like, why did they even try, or like, why did they put this in the show? Like, why was it necessary?
At first, I thought it was Rand's dream.
Yeah, me too.
And instead of like Shamiel gets there first, they were both waiting for him to sleep, right? So they could dream bang him. But Shamiel was quicker than Lanfear on the draw. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh my gosh. And then, it was me. I'm just waiting for my boy to fall asleep, and so I'm going to pretend to be him and lie in your bed as it's a joke. It just doesn't. What does this do? What does this add? I don't understand. And then they talk about the rest of the Forsaken, which I think there was only like 5 of them. There's
At least they named only like 5 of them.
I understand cutting out a couple of the Forsaken, sure, merge a couple of them, whatever. But then his thing is like, oh, I only released you because everyone else is crazy. And then Moraine has the line where she says, if he releases in the last episode, if he's able to release all of the other Forsaken, we won't have a chance, or maybe it was this episode.
It was this
we
one.
won't have a chance at winning the war. But you're like, but like they're all like released at the beginning of book 1, like before book 1 starts. Like you definitely had a chance to win the war. Like that's why the Forsaken are so interesting in the books, right? They're working for the Dark One, but they're also working for themselves. And so even though they technically always have to follow orders, they're always looking for ways to bend the rules and advance themselves, which is it's the perfect depiction of evil, because evil is inherently selfish. And so it is harder to have like these concerted efforts of evil because it's so hard to work together.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic in the books. And this is just it either we don't know which one's telling the truth, we're presented with two truths, and there are two possibilities. One's right and one's wrong, and the outcomes of those possibilities are the Forsaken are weak and not intimidating, or Moraine is once again an idiot. Like, those are the outcomes, depending on who's telling the truth here, right?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Drink. Blah 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 blah. Then yada 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 yada. Why is the show so horny? I don't remember anything else they talked about because I tuned out by this point. And then I'm gonna help
This is where he brings the. Gives him the girl.
Did they not do the? Did they not do?
Oh no, this is the Horn of the Lear.
This is where he announces it. I guess they call her later.
Yeah.
Oh right, because they have to show. Oh, it turns out you're completely safe.
Yep.
Why is that cut in here? This is the same scene. Normally, when you cut between characters, it's because you're changing scenes, right? They cut from this scene to a different scene and then cut right back to the same scene.
Well, because it's basically like it's like Ishamael's all by himself getting this boon, and then this is the boon, basically.
It's bad filmmaking. Is
I
what
agree.
It is.
I agree.
And there are some shots where like it's very obvious that she's wearing a bald cap because her head is way too big. I get you don't want to force the actress to shave her head, but maybe fix it in post just a little bit. There's some scenes where it's literally a different color. You can see the bald cap.
It did feel a little big, yeah.
Okay, so the crux of this scene is we get the Egwene collaring scene. These collars are so silly. Everything like that.
I mean, I was okay with that, to be honest.
So
they put it on.
It's a nano suit that just materializes out of thin air. You're okay with that, Jared?
Well,
like, what's the point of it? Why isn't it just a collar with a chain?
It's true, because
Like,
I mean, they put the collar on.
What does this add? It's just it's being created by the one power, but their whole thing is that channeling needs to be controlled. So how on earth do they make these?
Yeah, it's true. They didn't need the whole shoulder things. I don't know. It was a cool effect. It looked like a cool effect.
Sure, but why?
I will say, I agree. But I mean, because that's the thing. Like when they first put the collar on, it was this little skinny thing, right? And they put it on. I was like, oh, that looks lame. and then
I was excited for 1 second. I was like, wait. They're doing a regular collar. I was so excited.
I was
and
too.
Then, and then I was like,
I do agree that it does seem useless. But here's the thing. The collar the design of it, it's not necessarily bad. Like it's not a bad.
It's the combination. Design. It's the combo with the binky that makes it bad. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, where's her binky? But like,
I love that the chain is a clip-on.
I thought that too. She's just like okay. But here's the thing.
Chain. Here's the way that it didn't materialize. That chain is so small. You could snap that with your bare hands.
I know, but that's the thing about the chain and the collar.
It's magic chain. I know.
It's not. It's like when you do that, you feel the pain, right?
Oh,
so it's like,
oh my gosh.
But so that's the thing. Like, if they would have just gone with that collar, that probably would have been better. Because I agree that maybe
it's more striking. It would have been more. It's obviously a parallel to slavery. I mean, it literally is. It's not even a parallel. It's slavery, and it's more striking of an image to treat these people like dogs.
Yeah,
like they're not human. That's literally what they do in the books. They're kept in kennels. And if they act up, they put a literal muzzle on their faces.
Yeah.
And they have a choke chain, a collar, like a it's literally just a manacle around someone's neck connected to a chain.
Yep.
That is so much more striking than this artistic. This looks comfortable. That's the thing. This looks comfortable.
Well, I know, but it's not about what it looks like. It's about what it does.
I know, but it's not.
Right?
But it doesn't look intimidating. It's all. It's supposed to be about the visual, where these people are just treated like dirt. But this doesn't. That doesn't convey Sean Chandamani to me.
Yeah, that's true.
They have an opportunity to make these people despicable. They're in all of the talkback scenes where they talk about the episodes. They're constantly saying, well, we made this choice because we really, really, really want you to be afraid of the Sean Chan. We want to make them intimidating. We killed off Uno, shoved his face into a freaking spike because we need you to be afraid of these guys.
That was the only
and
thing.
then they shoot themselves in the foot by making these choices.
Yeah.
It looks silly. They don't look intimidating. They look silly. They should be slavers. They should be black Texan slavers. That's freaking nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah. I agree. Preaching to the choir. See, but look at it. Look at Rand's.
Just imagine that visual. Putting that on screen, man. It could have been so good.
Yeah. I mean, and then it could have already been attached to the collar, right? So the leash thing, it just would have been.
But Amazon is racist, taking roles away from people of color. So that's on you, Amazon Studios. And then, okay, so we gotta stop running. I love that she should have prepared him, but he just goes to sleep. The whole thing is, hey, we're gonna stop running. Let me give you a quick rundown on how Tellite on Riyadh works. But she just goes to sleep. The whole point was hey, maybe we don't need to run. Maybe I should prepare him for this. And she does that by not preparing him at all for this. But then we get Slay Queen Lanfear. Honestly, it's not a terrible look. I don't hate this design. It's weird that she's going with it right up front and saying, oh, hey, it seems like you would want to play manipulative and say I'm not an evil person. She's going to have to explain why she's still alive. And so she could say, yeah, I'm a Forsaken, but it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy, right? And what Moraine has told you about me maybe isn't all 100% what you need to know about me, right? I just want to be with you and blah, blah. But she just immediately goes with, I'm going to sit on a throne and have horns, rather than trying to subtly manipulate Rand. Also, I'm going to tie you up. I'm going to crucify you because I want you on my side. And this is how I'm going to convince you.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes next.
It's just, it's a choice it's a choice.
It's a choice
that seems slightly antithetical to your desired outcome. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
We're going to see. Obviously, we're going to see next week what happens.
Yeah.
I don't understand this choice.
There's a bunch of this people don't understand.
But the look's not terrible.
No.
It's nice. Sure. If we do that, we'll get a different still. That's it. That wasn't a good still. Anyway. So that's the scene that everyone was curious about from the teasers, is Rand tied to a wheel. The show's bad.
It's definitely just not Wheel of Time. It's not the Wheel of Time that everybody loves.
Also, this is our introduction to Tellite on Riyadh, and it's kind of just bland. It's just a big desert.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've reached a certain, I still hate the show for everything it is, but I have reached a certain stage of apathy and then Amazon gave me a copyright strike, and the apathy is gone, and now it's back to Rage. So,
Well, I can imagine. Yeah, that's not easy, and definitely not justified.
the Den of Geek, she tells us, the Wheel of Time, how Lanfear subverts the Robert Jordan canon. Just stop subverting expectations. Honestly, if you wanted to subvert expectations at this point, what you could do is make a faithful adaptation, and everyone would be very, very surprised.
Yep.
There's a couple other stupid takes. Wheel of Time pulls out all the stops in season 2. It's truly a nail biter. It's a nail chopper and halfer. Whatever. That's a bad joke. That didn't work. There's just so many shills.
I think that's what they were trying to go for too, though.
Oh, David sent me this one. I didn't read it, so I don't know how to talk about it. There's a director who worked on both shows. Apparently, they said the two different worlds. Writers are different. Jordan is electric and not present. But hey, that's something that the Ring of Power has in common. He pulls a lot from Eastern philosophy, blah blah blah. Tolkien, okay, but they're two different stories. Both, I love. I don't know why David sent this to me, but I don't see anything super interesting to talk about. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe he'll have to tell it next time.
Yeah, I'll save that one for later so David can talk about it. Blah blah blah. Oh, this one pissed me off. All the people saying, "Oh, stop saying that Robert Jordan is rolling in his grave." Well, maybe stop saying that he's not. Because it's tacky to speculate on what a man who died in 27 would think about something in this year. If you don't know him closely or are a huge fan, maybe show his family some respect by not asserting your opinions as his. Also, maybe show him respect by adapting his book.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to complain that it's not that you don't get to say he wouldn't have liked the show because he's dead. Okay, that's fair. You don't get to say that it's a faithful adaptation either.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
That's a silly comment. Definitely does go both ways.
The Wheel of Time season 2 breaks from the books, and it's all the better for it. How? How is this better? How on earth are 70% of the people who've read all of the books think that this is as good or better than the books?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so they have 3 episodes left. How are they going to get Loyal and them back? How are they going to get Loyal and Inktar back? How are they going to?
I think they're the ones that are going to free Egwene.
No.
Well, it shows them saying, like, they were talking about it. They were like saying, "Hey, the Devani are kept in this room." I think they're the ones that are going to free her.
No.
Yeah. It showed it in the teaser. That's what's going to happen.
That's true. I did see that.
But this isn't even true. Like, it's not even a good show. It can't be better than the books. It's not. Take the books out of the equation. It's not even good. So it's definitely not better than the books. Changing the character makes it a better character. I beg to differ. It makes it stupid. It improves things because she has a secret family. How? How does that make it better? You're just saying it makes it better.
Because she's more of a human rather than just evil. Okay.
She brings a Dune energy to the Wheel of Time. Well, yeah. I mean, technically, the Aiel are analogous to the Fremen from Dune.
Yeah.
But not a Eula Smart. I like you would be so lucky as to have a fraction of the prowess of Denis Villeneuve. Like the love that man has for the source material of Dune is so obvious on screen. It's such a good adaptation. It cuts a whole lot of material from the books because it has to. It's an adaptation. But it also doesn't add a bunch of random boring crap because Denis Villeneuve doesn't think that he doesn't consider himself a better writer than Frank Herbert. Rafe Judkins thinks he's a better writer than Robert Jordan. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's not a good look on him.
There's also these updates on screen time and stuff. So there's screen time and word count, which is funny because you do get a whole lot of screen time for Perrin and Rand.
Yeah.
They're the
But
one and two.
Doesn't say anything.
And they literally never
They're still down at the bottom.
Anything.
Yeah, they're in the middle.
Rand, Perrin, Matt has about the same word count as Makassim, and Ivan and Elias and Min. Is Min even in book 2? I think she might be in one scene.
3. She's in book 3.
I know she's in book 3.
Yeah. I don't think she's in 2.
If she's in book 2, it's like Moraine goes and talks to her one time.
I think what it is she's introduced.
She's in the
White Tower.
Yes, she's in like one
in the
scene.
White Tower. Yeah,
and she has a different name.
No, well, not. I mean, she still goes by.
She's pretending to be a different person. Yes,
no. That's in book 3. Well, that's in book 4 actually when she's pretending. I just listened to it.
You're right.
Well, yeah, that's book 4.
Ishamael has more word count. Why? Varen has more words. Alana. I don't even remember who this character is in the books. Wait, no, that's Moraine's sister? Right. Because she's not in the books.
Yeah.
It's so sad. This is screen time again. Yeah, technically we're giving so much screen time to Perrin and Rand. Oh my gosh. I don't even understand how this is physically possible to be this disrespectful to the source material. Remember how we talked about Uno just not being present before they kill him?
Yeah.
He's got screen time.
Yeah, I know. He has lines too.
He doesn't. He doesn't though.
No, not according to this, but he technically did. He technically did.
Yeah, but if you're gonna kill off a character, give him some lines first, right?
He had a couple.
Yeah, he has 3. He has 3 spoken lines.
That's exactly. Like they're not much, but he did have.
So you got talkativeness, which is words per minute, right? And then Rand just 0 because he's got so much screen time, and it's just people talking to him, telling him what to do. Like, has Rand made a choice this entire season?
No,
has he made a choice? He's been dragged around by 2 women.
I mean, I guess the first part of this season, because he was all by himself, basically.
No, Moraine sent him there.
Yeah,
he says somehow Moraine manipulated him into going there.
Well, I know, but like being there, he has to.
That's not his choice. It was Moraine's.
Well, I mean, true. He was sent there to learn. He was sent there to learn the power.
He hasn't made a single choice. Has Perrin made any choices?
Yeah,
he told Elias no. He said,
And
"Yeah, I'm going to go look." The thing.
He freed Avienda too.
That's one.
Yeah.
Has Matt been in the show? Matt, the one choice that he makes turns out is not his choice. Is Leandrin playing him?
Oh, to go and
Yeah.
yeah.
Not a single main character
Which is
in this show.
I still hate that. I still hate that
has
Matt just
made
leaves.
a single choice. This show sucks.
Yeah, there's not a lot of progression character-wise.
I don't know how on earth you can justify this in a writer's room. Well, I know how, but it's a bunch of check boxes, and it's not actual writing. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this piece of filth.
Well, can't wait till next week.
There's 3 episodes left.
I know, that's the thing. I'm like, 3 episodes? They've got a lot to do in 3 episodes.
Oh, maybe. They've got to do... I don't think Tyr exists in the show, right?
I don't
They're
know.
not going to do... I don't know. It's so silly. This show's dumb. Anyway, well, we'll talk about
We've
it
definitely
again.
got us guessing what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Us book readers, they're like, what's going to happen? I have no idea.
For sure. We're guessing. We're constantly guessing. I have no idea what's going on. But Eula Smart is queen, and she serves that scene. She slays. That's what I read online. We'll meet again next week where we talk about more filth. I might have a video by then. Who knows? I might not have a channel. I might be in court.
Dang.
So, yeah. I wouldn't care as much if they hadn't made this worse. But now, like, I have no problem just dedicating my entire channel to taking this show down. I'm done.
Me too.
Okay. We'll see you next week, everybody. That's a goodbye, folks.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.